Let's see. Start video transmission. I think we might be on. What do you think?
I see it's scheduled.
Scheduled, eh?
Shows that we're live.
Oh, it shows that we are live. Yep. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another live stream of the G Show podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. And yes, once again, we are live streaming. This is the second Friday in a row we've done a live stream. The only difference is this time we're not doing 6 hours. No. But we're also not gonna just limit it to one. We're gonna have a couple of hours of fun here tonight. We're gonna talk about my second viewing of Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire and how I felt after that one. We're going to talk about all of the talk Adam Wingard has been doing in regards to the next MonsterVerse movie. Is he joking or what? We'll get into that. We'll talk about toy drops. We'll talk about toy leaks. We'll talk about toy companies that might be in trouble. Hiya! You better not, motherfucker. There's the first curse of the stream. I am G1. Let's get into it. Introduce it first. My right hand when it comes to Godzilla on the Block Party. G73, a.k.a. Megzy, a.k.a. my brother Chase. How are you, brother?
Another one of the just tired as hell. Planting X been rough lately, man.
I can imagine. Oh, man. Also joining us from the Red Hook section of Brooklyn, apparently, it's Taz! That's not true. If anybody's Taz in this group, it would have been me. But JR, straight off of a marathon of Botchamania. How the hell are you?
I am the table!
Jesus! I love it. I can't believe you watched about 45 episodes that are about 19 to 25 minutes each. You're crazy.
I know, that's literally been my entire day. Yeah, we're prepping for WrestleMania this weekend, so I gotta watch Botchamania.
Oh, that's right. We are prepping for WrestleMania. That is tomorrow. Oh my God. Plug it now, the live stream, and before we'll go, we'll plug it again. But what are we doing tomorrow, JR?
So tomorrow and Sunday, we will be live on my YouTube channel, JR's GAM Streams. We're not doing Twitch anymore. Twitch is done. We're doing it on my secondary live stream channel. If you want to watch us, we're doing commentary throughout. I'm even adding audio effects to it. Yeah, we're going to have a crowd cheering throughout the entire podcast with some lame background music. I'm going all out. We'll be waking up early tomorrow as long as I don't get too drunk tonight. And I'm going to be setting it all up. It's going to be a blast. WrestleMania, we always do 2 nights of WrestleMania, and it's always off the hook. And this one's going to be damn good. We're going to finish the fucking story.
We're finishing that damn story. I can't wait to see what fucking image you got for the stream.
Oh, God. What was Royal Rumble? A man's ass was on fire?
That was so good, man. I can't believe WrestleMania weekend, a week after Godzilla x Kong came out and Godzilla suplexed that big-ass monkey and through the motherfucking pyramid. First he speared him, then he suplexed him, and all I kept saying to myself was, by God, he's broken in half! Yes! Fuck it, hey, bro, I'm so excited. But anyway, yes, listen, Godzilla. Okay, I know I've seen it twice. Chase, you've seen it twice, correct?
Mm-hmm.
JR, you only seen it that one time, right? In the theaters?
Yeah, I've only seen it once.
But I mean, like, for crying out loud, that thing is ripped, all right? It's out and it's available all over the place. Every fucking social media site, they've got clips. I mean, fuck, yesterday, before we jumped on and hung out together, I was watching damn near the entirety of the final fight in Brazil. With this crazy ass musical track that was not Junkie XL. And I'm sitting there, I was like, damn, fuck, this shit's so much better like that. Like, the sound was crazy, right? But so it's available. I would love for people to go to the theaters to experience it, especially now while there's really nothing out. I mean, this weekend we have Monkey Man dropping with Dev Patel. It's kind of like John Wick, but in India, right? And it kind of looks crazy. The reviews so far have been solid. And then you got The First Omen, which in all honesty, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to see that.
Surprisingly, about The First Omen, I watched a review this morning, and
Was it Joe Blows? I think it was Joe.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was Jeremy Johns, and he was like, "Yo, that's actually pretty good, like surprisingly good."
So I'm not a fan of Jeremy Johns, but Joe Blows said the same thing.
I'm not
Jimmy
either.
John's is like that Jimmy John's is crap.
I tune in every once in a while, but you know, when he's on point with a movie, sometimes he's on point. It's like,
yeah,
I didn't even know they were making a prequel to The Omen, and he's like, it's not bad. I'm like, I take your word for it. I take your word for it.
I did see that. So I mean, but I gotta be honest, I don't think the general population is going to want to see that a week after Easter.
No, nobody's gonna give a shit.
Yeah. So I think Godzilla is poised to retake the box office this weekend. By eight, what did it make last week domestically? 85, 90?
It made 85.
85?
84, 85.
That's a great number, not for nothing. It's a solid number. And again, look, I mean, there's still other avenues at the time. Ghostbusters was in its second week. You know, it's funny. Ghostbusters, the Frozen Empire, Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, both having to deal with an ice creature. Go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And they're both called Empire in their name.
Yeah, they both have Empire in their name. They're both dealing with, freeze creatures, except, well, one was probably done better than the other. Which one? You'll find out soon enough. But no, on my second viewing, I gotta be honest. I went and I seen it in IMAX. I apologized to my wife when I came home Thursday night, and I told her, listen, I am sorry in advance for taking you to see this. So, like, I apologize. She was like, really, it's that bad? Because when we went to see Ghostbusters, she was like, she saw a trailer. She was like, I really don't know if I want to see that. I was like, but I already bought the tickets. So I come home Thursday and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I really am. We don't have to go if we don't want to. My daughter was like, okay, I don't want to go. All right. I'll eat that ticket. No problem. Still support the cause, right?
Yeah.
But I went, IMAX was packed. I mean, fucking top to bottom, we were packed. I mean, there might have been like, maybe just the first row empty? Right? Like that very front tier. And that was it. And a lot of kids in the theater, a lot, and way better behaved than that one little kid that was in front of us Thursday night that kept walking around and climbing the chairs while coughed in his mother's ear, and then they had to walk down. But there was way more kids, and I'll tell you, watching it in that environment, hearing those kids hooping and hollering, having a good time, looking at my wife having a good time. I'm like, what's going on? It really made me have a good time. Like, I really softened my stance on this movie. There's still, don't get me wrong, the shit I don't like, I still don't like. That's never gonna change, stupid Thagomizer tail, for no fucking reason. Dumb. But I didn't hate the movie the first time around, but there was nowhere near the amount of animosity I held towards it Thursday. And I think it's because I should have went to see it Thursday night back to back, like I normally do with these movies. When I came at it Godzilla versus Kong, my mind was going in 30 million fucking directions at once. I just came out of the Hong Kong battle. It was fucking nuts. I'm sitting there going, what was with those camera shots that looked like we were in a roller coaster? Did it work? I'm not sure. Saw it again. I was like, yeah, that shit works. That shit works. I love going around seeing Kong like roaring, and then all of a sudden it's Godzilla's spiral beam and we're going around it. I loved all that. I thought it was fun. It was a great VR ride. And then I came home and then I watched it on HBO and I loved it even more. And again, it's literally one of my favorites in the Monsterverse. It's G14 and GVK any given day. It could be either one.
There's just one thing I want to add too. For my second viewing, it was more. My preview viewing on Thursday night was packed, but this viewing was like sold out.
Yeah,
there was only like 3 seats available left, and that was cool to see.
And I think that's because, like, as Godzilla fans, we were going Thursday night, right? We were going preview night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody usually waits for the weekend. And plus, again, smart move on Warner Brothers and Legendary's part. Putting it out on Easter weekend, bro. That's a smooth move. So there was a lot of families in town going to the theaters. And yeah, man, the second time around, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I really had fun with it. I told my wife we don't have to stay. There's no after credit scenes. I don't care. I don't want to hear Mothra screech. Fuck that. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it the second time around. Had a shit ton of fun with it, and I'm not gonna go see it again this weekend because WrestleMania, But maybe my hand slips on my remote control and I accidentally go to certain places and I get to watch it. I'm just saying. I'll pay for it. I'll buy a ticket and just not go. But fuck it. It is what it is. But I know, Chase. I know you loved it the first time, and I know you loved it the second time. But was there anything that maybe you didn't catch the first time around that you caught the second time where you were like, oh my god, it's even better?
I just caught more Planet X references.
Okay.
There's a lot of Planet X, and that's where I really think is going on with the next one. But I also I also think that it's going to be a combination of things of Planet X and resources. I really think I just catch a lot of when Wingard came out and said, if you pay attention to our movie, I directly tell you where the next film's going if you pay attention. It's resources in Planet X, and yeah, that's the big thing. It sounds like it's gonna be like either the aliens coming to mine Hollow Earth or humanity, and because they make those points a lot. But with me, the gripes are still the same.
Okay.
Darking and Shimu very underutilized, and that's still where I stand. Other than that, I still had a lot of fun with when Egypt gets put into play, when that last act gets put into play. It's all fun for me. I just still can't get over Kong trying to drag Godzilla by the tail into the Hollow Earth, and Godzilla's just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" That's my favorite part of that movie.
It's my favorite part of that movie, the Egypt scene. Seriously, that entire sequence is my favorite. From Godzilla doing the Megalon dive off the Rock of Gibraltar, okay?
Yeah.
To Kong walking past the pyramids, that nice long shot, beautifully viewed in IMAX. That shot was made for IMAX. It was like in Godzilla vs. Kong, when Kong busts Godzilla up and throws him in the water, and all of a sudden the water starts to glow, and then there's that far shot of Kong jumping off the carrier and the fucking, the heat ray going straight through. I mean, in the theater, especially in a big theater, Kong, you could see it was so good. I love that shot to death. Yeah. I love it. But yeah,
there was a couple friends of mine that I spoke to that saw it over the weekend in 4DX Regal's thing.
Right.
And they're saying that if you want a really fun ride, 4DX is like better than D-Box and all that. They're saying like you get hit with mist and water and smells and
I don't want none of that.
Like heat and rocking chairs like that. That sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah, you could keep that. I'll go to Universal Studios and ride the Kong ride if I want that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, just that tram tour.
Yeah, exactly. Go to tram tour.
John pops out of the water and all of us get fucking spitted on.
Yeah, we get spit on. Kong, the old one, when you went through and Kong was there in 1976 New York City and shit's blowing up and the flames is in your face. I love that, but I digress.
Yeah, I remember that when I was a kid. Now it's Peter Jackson's
now
thing.
Now it's Peter Jackson's thing. They should have had Peter Jackson's Kong in New York City so I could watch that great ape die. Because you know what? There's nothing more satisfying than seeing that great ape meet its demise. You know what? He has to ride Godzilla's coattails in order for him to be relevant. That stupid monkey anus. Sorry, got a lot of pent-up aggression about Kong.
But that's Peter Jackson's Kong. Monsterverse Kong we chill with.
I mean, all Kongs in general. All Kongs get it too. Let me stop. JR.
Ray believes in lizard supremacy.
That's it.
No
That's
apes.
I'm a reptilian in
You're gonna see
disguise.
Planet of the Apes. How dare you?
I'm going in there and I'm gonna be like Cobra, la 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 la. G.I. Joe the movie reference. JR, I know you love that movie, and then I know that the next day, all of a sudden, you were kind of seeing it my way. Where are your feelings at now?
The same. You know, I still really enjoyed the movie. That's the thing. I think I said it yesterday. I was like, it's innocent fun. Because it is. There's no animosity about it. There's no modern day political shit. And it's just there to entertain. In the grander scheme of the Monsterverse, I think it doesn't fit at all. It's like, I wouldn't say necessarily the black sheep because that's where the series is headed, but it's definitely that 180-degree turn in Final Wars to take Amanda.
The black sheep, where it's heading is sounding like Adam Wingard wants to make a snuff film for Godzilla. That's where it sounds like it's going.
Well, that's the title of this particular podcast. Adam Wingard is not monkeying around with the next Monsterverse movie. So what does that mean? He's not monkeying around. Let me tell you. Kong is getting pushed to the side. No more will Godzilla have top billing yet play second fiddle to the monkey. Get out of here with that. Finally, Godzilla is going to come into his own and now have another Godzilla movie proper. Granted, Kong might be there, but I'll be honest with you. Just make a Godzilla movie. But I don't think they can do that. If this is a trilogy, Kong's got to be incorporated in it. That being said, rumors are running amok. I mean, Brother Chase just said a couple of things. Wingard was saying, I've left a breadcrumb trail in this movie that leads potentially to the next one. I am hearing rumors. And Gam Z1 is going to join us when he gets on break. There is an open call, by the way, just like last week. So we might have people popping on and off in this podcast left and right, and that's fine. That's what we want, right? But when Gam gets on, we'll probably get back to this because me and J.O. got bones to pick. But if this rumor is true,
Me too.
Oh, okay.
I saw that interview when I saw both interviews when they went live.
So okay,
Before Gam's did.
so we're talking about Adam Wingard potentially wanting to use a baby Godzilla in the next one, and not only that, but a possibly destroyer-like creature.
Yeah, and it contradicts already what that Godzilla concept artist guy was saying. Because he says there's not going to be Toho monsters in the next one. And so
I mean, well,
I think it's
they lucked out.
that?
They lucked out getting Mothra in this one. I mean, they had the backup plan, right? They had what?
Yeah.
Insecta Moth or whatever her name was.
Phosphora.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
Terrible name.
Could you really imagine? Thank God. I wonder what they had to give to get Mothra, because that works in this movie, right? Mothra fucking works in this movie to calm Godzilla down. Works. But could you imagine it was some random AI generated fake Mothra?
Oh, that would have pissed me off.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans would have been like, boo.
Yeah.
And apparently the Mothra that pops up in New Empire is supposed to be like the eldest Mothra. It's not the Mothra that's like from King of the Monsters. This is like a goddess, like the queen of the Mothras.
That doesn't make any... What? So there's multiple... Okay.
Well, yeah, Mothra lays eggs, duh.
So I guess Godzilla just chills with all the Mothras. He's like, yo, I be hitting all them Mothra sisters.
Looking at Kong like, oh, you got my bitch to come save your ass.
I've got 3 more.
Yeah, you know we got twins, right?
One Punch Man Gia is on top of that pyramid or sphinx.
Okay, I gotta be honest with you. I didn't really... I mean, I saw it the first time, but I didn't peep it in my brain and pay attention to it. But not for nothing, Gia riding Mothra around really made my heart swell. I loved it. I loved it.
Oh, I do too, but I just think it's funny. She looks like One Punch Man on that Sphinx. She looks like One Punch Man.
Yeah, no, I totally like the idea that Mothra's letting her ride around like she's, you know, a fucking
She's a Cosmos.
A Cosmos. Woo, oh, man. Ooh, that Filipino food was slamming is coming up. Oh, I love it.
But yeah, as far as this Adam Wingard stroking the next MonsterVerse pipe, I'm irritated because, for one, Frosty proposed the question, and I don't like that he asked that, because Frosty's supposed to be a Godzilla fan, and that's not a question you want to ask right now.
What?
You don't want to ask about Godzilla offspring.
No, you don't. I mean, for the love of God, Kong just got, you know,
I know.
Shia
My
LaBeouf.
thing is, if they do the Godzilla Jr. route thing, I don't want a mirror image of a Kong story,
right.
Which I know that's literally what Adam Wingard has just said, what he's wanting to do. But I mean, like, I don't want him finding a baby Godzilla and it being just, you know, a cute factor thing, and, you know, it's just
retreading already familiar ground. Like
what I like is the notion of Godzilla literally being the last of his kind, being the unique thing on the planet, and, you know, I mean, Heisei series was Heisei series, and it's not that I disliked it, it's just for the MonsterVerse, I'd rather keep it Godzilla being the outlaw. And if they, I mean, I don't know, if they add Godzilla having offspring or species, cool. I just hope they utilize it, because also it's like, with Toho's copyright with Godzilla, it's not that Godzilla, it's kind of funny, because Godzilla can be killed, but he can't stay dead. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna have like Godzilla die and then come back to life? Like, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I guess as long as it's done right, then okay. I mean, it's just way too early to be talking about this stuff right now, and that's what kind of. But yet again, they just greenlit Dune, but that's a $600 million global movie.
No, but Dune was always planned trilogy, always.
Yeah. There's like 12 Dune books.
So.
Basically what I'm saying is like, let's just finish New Empire first and see where it goes.
Not even just that. It's like, look, if they're going to end up going the route of Destroya, I personally think it's a bad move. I said back in 2019, if, you know, Doherty or fucking guy that directed the first Godzilla 2014, if they came back and did Destroya,
did you literally forget Gareth Edwards' name?
Yeah, sorry.
Listen, how dare you, dude?
Dude, I've been fucking all day.
It's Ted!
That's all in my head.
It's playing that Baldur's Gate. It's rotting your brain.
Fuck, right? But that's my thing, is like, if they were to take Destroya and do it, I think they'd do him justice, especially Doherty. You know, you may not like that movie, but you can't sit here and say, other than Rodan's Roar, that the monsters weren't the fucking monsters from the original series.
No, they were them.
They were treated with absolute respect. And I feel like Wingard's just kind of a kid playing with his dad's toys with these movies. He's smashing them up. He's doing his shit because, you know, like, for instance, with Godzilla, what did he do with Godzilla? He evolved them to float around in zero gravity and then fuck off.
The thing is, unfortunately, I don't think it's unfortunate, but in your case, unfortunately for you, because this movie is the second best debut of a MonsterVerse film. Wingard's going to get his trilogy if they make another one.
It depends on how much it makes. So this is what I wanted to ask you. What has it made right now worldwide?
It's like 2 and change.
It just passed the 200 million.
Yeah, it's like 2 and change.
I know it hasn't gone everywhere yet, but that's not a lot of money.
Well,
but that's the thing. They're saying it made that in 4 days.
So not
that's
only
actually
that,
really well for this franchise.
well, hear me out. It opened up in more territories than any other MonsterVerse movie opening weekend. Okay,
And
so
it's
there's no
about to
trickle
open in
effect.
Dubai.
There's no trickle effect. You know what I
They
mean?
have a lot of markets that are about to open this week, and there's going to be markets opening for this movie towards the end of the month, not just Japan at the 26th.
And that's
It's opening
fine,
in a
but
lot of other places.
the big money makers are China and the U.S.
And Mexico.
And they
That's
both
not
debuted
true.
day one.
That's not true. India and also Mexico are one of the top contributors
Mexico,
to this
but
franchise
in
right now,
India,
too.
but India is pirating it. They're not, dude.
Yeah,
it's not gonna
it's-
make no money.
But
$3
it's-
million,
it's
India.
Third place in India, but yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And then
I'm
you got
just saying-
Pokemon coming out. It's definitely not doing
I
nothing in India.
I see this movie peaking max 500 mil worldwide.
Oh,
Like,
I'd be happy for that.
don't see it crossing.
I'd be happy at that.
And
And I'm happy with that, but does that warrant the continuation? Because you look at the budget with each movie and how much they've raked in. We're going back down. You know,
No,
Godzilla versus
but
Kong with
that's the thing. You think you're that's okay. Let's talk about statistics and facts with this. It was 135 before marketing. It needs to make at least 340 million to 340 to 370 million for it to break even, and then after that's more profit. It's already it's projected to pass. It's projected to pass 300 million this weekend, but we'll see. I don't think the movie's going to be, because at this point it's going to be the average MonsterVerse film. They're going to keep this movie in for a while. It's going to be just another. If it does, it's either going to be just the same as an average MonsterVerse film, or it's going to be a little bit better, but not by much.
But we'd say average MonsterVerse film. 2014 in Kong Skull Island. I mean, what was it? Kong Skull Island made like 750 mil worldwide.
No,
Nowhere near
no,
it.
it didn't.
Nowhere near it.
Not even close to that.
Yeah,
made
it was like-
almost- it was about 500 million.
About
Same as
500.
every MonsterVerse.
I was gonna say like 4 and change, 5. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Yeah. Hold on.
Crunching numbers here on the live stream.
All right.
Gotta love it.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure everything's.
No, I love crunching numbers when it comes to the box office. Hell, I
Yeah,
did a
because-
whole
and
fucking.
that's the thing. We have to with this, because if they're talking about going forward with Destroy and shit, it's like, okay, so yeah, Kong's
568 million worldwide.
That's not bad.
561 million, 70, yeah, and then 2014, King of the Monsters 383, Godzilla vs Kong 468, but that's
In a
that doesn't
pandemic.
count because Warner Brothers bought its budget.
But it was also during a pandemic, so it makes. I mean, look.
It was. So it had its budget brought back, so that was all profit. And all that profit went into this movie. What I'm saying is, we're back to the status quo. It has to make a certain amount to show interest. And I'm saying I do see it peaking at 500, which, yeah, standard for the MonsterVerse, but does that warrant a continuation?
Yes, it does, and I'll tell you why. Because
It does.
before anything about a pandemic, the greatest second trailer of all time came from King of the Monsters, and that movie should have been it, and it only made 300 and, like you said, 28 million?
383 million worldwide.
Close to 400 million worldwide. That's nothing compared to what Godzilla 2014, Kong Skull Island, and even GVK to an extent. Granted, there's an asterisk there because COVID,
Yeah.
right? But that was like that's a bomb. There's no other way to look at it. If you got 500, then 3 something, then, 4 and change through a fucking pandemic, and if you're saying that this movie might top out at 500, that's a success. So if GVK,
that's what I mean.
If GVK was made behind the 3 and change of this, one or two things could have happened. It might not have been about the money. It might have been, you know what though? Godzilla and Kong. That's it. That's it. We set it up so we can get to this point. Kong was in the Godzilla movie. Godzilla was in the Kong movie. We got to get to that point. So I think that right there, that was their train of thought all this time. On the same side of that token, I kind of now see what you're saying, because even if this movie taps out at 500, right? A nice clean 500 million worldwide. That's nice. That's a nice number. That's nothing to fucking laugh at. But do they say, okay, do we do another movie? Right? Like, I would say yes, only because of one thing. They have to dub Kong King. I don't want to see Godzilla dying, and that's how he gets that. I don't. Because in all honesty, Kong should be the one who dies before Godzilla, because Godzilla's been around a hell of a lot longer than Kong, and there seems to be no slowing it down because he just evolved. And Kong's just getting older. I think
how you get away with that, you crown Kong King, and you just have Godzilla swimming off into the sunset like Terror of Mechagodzilla. That's it. He checks out. That's the sunset of this series.
Well,
that would be the ending without killing him. Well, and that's where I think Destroya is stupid.
Destroya is stupid. Hands down is stupid.
Don't do it.
It doesn't. Destroya does not make sense in the MonsterVerse because, one, the Oxygen Destroyer didn't do diddly fuck. Okay? In the MonsterVerse, it makes more sense in Toho because of what it represented. Yeah. Destroyer doesn't represent nothing in the MonsterVerse. 0, nothing. It's just a fucking name. It's a dino. It's a dino. And I can't stand that.
It's Adam Wingard saying, Destroya destroys the biggest bad Godzilla's ever faced, and I'm putting him in this. And it's like, yo, you can't do that.
Here's where I'm also getting irritated with this, because I don't know if you guys watched the interviews or read them. But Wingard said although he likes the idea of Destroy because that was one of his favorite movies, he also talks about how he wants to do things Godzilla hasn't done.
Oh no.
He says specifically that even though I like Destroya, it doesn't necessarily, and now these aren't his exact words, but what he's pointing this at is saying, I'm not directly saying Destroya is going to be in it because he doesn't know, and the concept artist guy, he said there's probably not going to be any Toho monsters in it. Now, I don't believe he even knows what's going on either. I don't think nobody knows. But what Adam Wingard said is that he's in favor of doing what we have not seen Godzilla do. He's on the board of making things compelling and original. That's what he wants to see.
He says originality.
So that's the thing. Destroya, I don't think Destroya is going to happen. As much as where I'm like, I would love Destroya because I like Destroya as a villain, and I think if you wanted to do a villain, you could do a good villain Destroya, but that's just how I just feel. I don't think it's going to happen though, but also I think that if you do Destroya, that has to be the final film in the franchise. And the problem is with what Warner Brothers and Legendary are wanting to do with this MonsterVerse is, unfortunately, is they want to milk it as long as they can. And so unless they come out and say, hey, because here's the thing, if New Empire, I mean, it's already in a successful upcline at the moment. If New Empire makes the money to be successful and they're seeing that, oh, there's still a possibility with this franchise, they're not going to say, okay, well then let's just do one more and call it quits. They're going to be thinking about a road plan for another couple more films, and then most likely probably some more seasons of Monarch as well. That's not just going to stop at one more MonsterVerse film. So that's the thing, is if they do Destroya and also Baby Godzilla, you're running out of room right there. And I just don't see that being what's going to happen. I really don't. I think what's true about what's going on in the next MonsterVerse is what we see on screen and what is told on screen, which is Planet X, Hollow Earth, human resourcing, and mining the fucking Hollow Earth. I think that's what's next, and then we'll see from there. But I don't think it's going to be anything crazy like franchise ending, like Destroya, or even, But we'll I mean, maybe you get Baby Godzilla at the end of the next one.
It ain't happening.
That's something that I don't think we're gonna see either.
I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna agree with you and disagree just slightly, but nothing major, because I think everything you just said is very valid. Here's what I think might happen. You get the next MonsterVerse movie. It's got to be another Godzilla Kong flick, right? It has to. Wow, Kong flick. Shut up. It got to be Godzilla and a Kong movie. It's got to be, right? And it's got to be Adam Wingard wrapping up his trilogy. Now, I don't see them killing Godzilla. I can't see that happening. I don't even now when I think about it. Shouldn't even be a Godzilla-centric movie. They should really find a way to balance both monsters' screen time to make it even. Give the people what they want. Now, that being said, I don't know if I go Alien Invasion just yet. I do Alien Invasion. See, and this is where I disagree. I don't need Destroya to be the final movie in the MonsterVerse, right? I don't need Destroya in the MonsterVerse, period. But if we're doing Aliens, that should be the final. That should be the shebang, right? That should be the final movie. So that being said, I don't even think that the next movie should be Aliens, as much as I thought they were going to set it up for it. If they're going to continue, because here's the thing. Wingard gets his trilogy and he wraps it up. The Godzilla and Kong trilogy, right? Once that's done, now you can start making individual movies again if it's successful enough where, like Chase was saying, where Warner Brothers and Legendary goes, you know what? We can still make money off of this. And Toho's going to be like, oh, yes, we can. You know what I'm saying? Because
Toho's got to be foots in the flipper for that one.
Because Toho's over here like, yo, listen, we keep making movies for fucking $3 million and we're getting $100 million back. Yeah, no, go ahead. Yes. Call us Sony. You can borrow Spider-Man if you want, no problem. So that being said, hold up. That being said, you wrap up this trilogy, and again, I don't know if I would do Aliens specifically. I would, if you're gonna do another Toho monster, as much as I don't want to see any other Toho monsters, but if you will, I think Biollante might make the most sense. A beautiful creature to inhabit Hollow Earth with all the fauna.
Did you see what I said yesterday about the Iwis having a war rival with Seatopians in the Hollow Earth?
Bring back Megalon. I'm with cool. that. That's crazy. I have a thing for that, but that's off the air. That's something I'll tell you privately.
Bring Gigan,
but
Megalon.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't have alien invaders as opposed to a space monster. If it's a space monster, that's fine. But aliens, I'd save that. I'd save actual fucking intelligent aliens for much later. Because again, wrap his trilogy up, then start making Godzilla movies and then Kong movies. And do that until when it says, okay, we need to wrap this up. One last Godzilla and Kong movie together. Alien invasion. Bam. And that's how you finish the MonsterVerse off. Because look, they're really following the formula of the Fast and Furious movies. And the last Fast and Furious movies, they're going to meet aliens. It's going to be fucking Groot and Dominic Toretto and Riddick. They're going to meet. All three of them, they're going to meet.
And the Iron Giant.
And the Iron Giant's going to come back too. It's crazy, but that's exactly what's going to happen. It's the multiverse crossover. But that's what I do.
You know,
I do.
And it's...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Because I've been stewing on this, and Adam Wingard said he wants to be original, and then in the same interview says, yeah, Baby Godzilla. Not only do I not like that idea within the established universe of the MonsterVerse, because that's stupid,
Yep.
but I don't like it because it's just, it comes off as pandering. and treading old ground. We just did it with Godzilla X Kong. And you're going to be like, in the next one, oh yeah, we're doing Baby Godzilla. What? Does there have to be a baby Godzilla everything?
And guys, I kind of need to interject here. It wasn't that Adam Wing, and this is another thing too, the Godzilla fandom's twisting his words. And I don't know why people just don't watch the interview, because he does not say Baby Godzilla would be what he would do. He said that I think something like a counterpart to Godzilla could work.
It's called Shimo.
Like Baby Godzilla or something of a different species. Stuff like that. He doesn't say Baby Godzilla directly. But the thing is, when he says counterpart, you already had Mecha Godzilla.
You had Shimo.
So that's the thing too. Is like
So you have Mecha Godzilla, you have Shimo, and then you have his ultimate rival Ghidra. The fuck else are you doing?
But he says specifically a Godzilla species. Sounds like an evil Godzilla. But you already had.
We just had Shimo.
We just had Shimo.
It's
Mecha Godzilla.
And Mecha Godzilla, right?
So we've already got two. Enough.
And Shimo wasn't evil. Shimo was just mind controlled by a friend.
Shimo was wasted potential.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
The one thing I was thinking about was like he was talking about how he wants to make an emotional film, and I just realized, or I was thinking about, could you imagine if it's like Godzilla melting down and Godzilla and Kong has to be like the one to like freeze Godzilla to help like stop the world from melting, and he's like Godzilla and Kong fighting again, and he has to like not kill Godzilla out of hate, but to save humanity.
Nope. Nope. I refuse to watch that movie. I think that's a dumb thing. I don't want to see it. I would hate the fucking shit out of it.
This is what you do with the next one, okay? You don't.
Yeah.
Because this is what I've been stewing on. It's like we're so focused on what could happen next, and I do agree, Alien's the natural progression because they went this route. Other than that, I don't know, unless they find something even deeper in the Hollow Earth. But that's the problem of the Hollow Earth, is it falls into that. I know nobody likes this, but the Marvel sphere, where it's like there's always a new super ultimate villain. Every new movie, there's this new super ultimate villain deeper within the Hollow Earth. That gets stale really quick.
Not really, because remember, Marvel didn't have all their big bads. They didn't have their Doctor Doom. Thanos worked.
And if
Thanos works, but what happened after Thanos, King the Conqueror?
No, but remember, they didn't do another Avengers movie yet. That's what you gotta wait for.
And if you think about it,
as well.
And if you think about it, the Hollow Earth is the size of the fucking planet. And they have barely touched any of the exploration on that, just for a few. They even say, like, yeah, there's no way Kong's going to explore all of Hollow Earth within just a few days. It's like, it's massive. There's so much more they can do with the Hollow Earth that hasn't been uncovered yet.
It's going to get stale. Listen, you gave us Hollow Earth in this movie. You gave us fucking zero gravity Hollow Earth. What the fuck else are you doing in the Hollow Earth? You jumped the shark in the Hollow Earth and gave it. We didn't need zero gravity. We could have just had a Hollow Earth fight.
And that's where I think would be interesting, is if they explored more of the Hollow Earth, but kept it in the Hollow Earth, and like give us different biomes within the Hollow Earth and stuff.
But that's a
Kong
movie.
Too.
That's a Kong movie.
Yeah, that's a TV series right there. That would work.
What is the light source for the Hollow Earth? Because Adam Wingard was saying that Elon Musk was complaining about that, saying what's causing the light source in the Hollow Earth. And hold on. And Adam Wingard said in the beginning of New Empire, they show what the light source is for the Hollow Earth. And what was it?
The
I
crystals.
don't remember seeing.
The crystals.
Is it that crystal?
It has to be the crystals. It has to be the crystals.
Just reflecting light?
Yeah. It just has to be.
I don't know.
I don't remember there being like sky or atmosphere or sun, but
no, they don't even discuss, because if I remember correctly, in the TV show they were talking about oxygen and stuff in the Hollow Earth. I know it's a different part of the Hollow Earth, but in this one it's like, oh yeah, we just breathe fine. I'm like,
yeah, it would be very hard to believe. It would be hard to breathe down there.
This is what you do with the Hollow Earth. You make a spin-off TV series called Monarch Hollow Earth, or something like that. That's where you explore the Hollow Earth. You can't do it every single goddamn movie, though.
Or you call it Kurt Russell the Titan Hunter.
Yes. I don't like the idea of a new big bad every movie coming out of the Hollow Earth. It's already running stale.
Well, in this particular movie, there's still a ton of fucking Titans that are out and about. Well, not about, but they're up on the world. You know, maybe Godzilla's keeping most of them in check. He had to kill Scylla. He had to kill fucking Tiamat. But they even go, what other Titans are awake or whatever they said. And there was like 5 or 6 blips on the screen, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I mean, like which one of those could become a potential baddie. Well, you don't have to dig in the Hollow Earth. But see, for me, like I said before, if and I agree with Chase here. I agree with Brother Chase here. I don't think they're going to get another Toho monster. They might be able to use Mothra again, but I don't think they're getting anything else. But please, bring back Rodan. Do my guy justice.
And another thing they were talking about was Mothra. Mothra was supposed to show up in Godzilla vs. Kong.
And what scene?
And that's why Mothra's up in this one.
Really?
Mothra was supposed to show up at the end of Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, but Mothra replaced Phosphora because people don't like Phosphora and GXK. That's how they wrote her in.
Okay, but that still doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it does. That means a lot. That means a lot.
No.
Phosphora was in the original fucking script. They replaced the monster with Mothra that she was never supposed to be in this.
You're not listening to me. In Godzilla vs. Kong, Mothra was supposed to show up. Does not mean that Mothra and Phosphorus still weren't supposed to both show up in New Empire. Nothing was ever said like that. But what I'm saying is that asset was made for Godzilla vs. Kong, and it just means they're just using assets they own.
So what if that's
so what
the
I'm
case?
saying is I'm agreeing. Mothra could definitely show up in the next one.
No, and I just want to know, like, whoever said Mothra was supposed to show up in GVK, I would like to know, because they would have to have given details, not just saying, oh yeah, Mothra was going to show up. Where? Why? When?
Yeah.
It was an end credit scene.
Okay,
so you got
that I respect.
All of that footage in GXK from an end credit scene? If she was never supposed to be in GXK? I'm so confused with
That's
that.
the thing. You're going off of leaks and bullshit people say when it's not true. Phosphorus, yes.
Screenshots of
Stop.
Phosphorus.
You're not listening.
She's in the movie.
Stop. Yes, Phosphorus may have been a character that was designed for a different part. But
And
they
then
probably
original
decided to
test
get rid of
screenings
it.
was there because you could see her in the movie, but that's okay. And if you look in the background at the mural in the Hollow Earth, Phosphorus right fucking there. They never replaced that. She's in the movie.
No, that was
still
Mothra.
in the movie.
Does not mean Mothra wasn't supposed to show up anyways.
That was a Mothra design. What are you talking about?
No,
Yes,
they're in the blue room, and she's talking.
Oh,
Shimu and Skarking.
The
You
exposition.
see Phosphora in that fucking room in stone. She's still there.
I gotta look at that again. I might watch it
Mothra was
tonight.
a last-minute change because test audiences didn't like Phosphora.
I would like to know how Wingard went about when he seen that, and Legendary and them went about going to Toho and saying, "Hey, listen, could we pretty please borrow Mothra?" And Toho was like,
and the reason why Phosphorus was scrapped was because they're really trying to run with the Cosmos idea with Mothra. They thought story-wise, Gia was better for this fairies Cosmo idea with Mothra, that it would appease
That
more.
may be what they've said, but test audiences, from what that was said, test audiences looked at Phosphora and did not like her. That was the whole thing.
"Listen,
in like a year and a half.
I gotta be honest.
That's not what I said though. What I said was, aside from Bosphorus being scrapped, they decided that it was a better call to just have Mothra and Gia have a Cosmos Fairy relationship.
And that's what I
That's
wanted.
fine.
That's what I wanted. I honestly thought that when that priestess came out, and she was just bathed in light, and you just seen the back of her and her hair, I thought it was gonna be like Gia's twin. You know?
They should have.
And they should have done that, so it would have just fit the mythology. It would have made it so much better. Don't get me wrong, I still loved it. And again, I just finished saying that I love the fact that Gia was fucking, she was the cosmos, bro. She was riding around with Mothra. She was a showman, you know? And I'm down for that. I'm totally down for that. But could you imagine if there was two? Oh! I guess you couldn't do, I guess you couldn't do it because the actress is actually deaf, so she couldn't talk. But still, I love the. That's something that I love, that the telepathy, speaking through the mind, because that was established in Kong Skull Island. So I love that, you know, they went back to it. They weren't talking, they were looking at each other. Love that stuff. I love it. Excuse me. That being said, I don't mind if a monster comes out of the Hollow Earth if you can run with a Biollante type of monster. If you can run with Biollante. Because the Hollow Earth is lush. Yeah. There's so much in there, again, untapped potential. That mesh that they had to break through to find the Iwis. You know? It's organic. Granted, at the end you see Mothra, you know, webbing it up and shit. But still, like, things like that is so fucking interesting to me. And so much, like Chase was saying, so much to explore down there. There's so much more to explore. For crying out loud, what the fuck was that giant thing that Kong was walking over?
Yeah.
That thing is huge.
We're gonna have a discussion. So, there needs to be a comic or a novelization to discuss that shit.
That, like Jay said before, that's the world serpent. That's the world serpent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was beautiful.
So, but that's, if you're gonna do another monster out of the Hollow Earth, you better make it the monster out of the Hollow Earth, because Skarking and Shimu, it's like the mother of all titans, and it's like,
that shit was
I wipe my ass with that kaiju.
That was that, and that's the thing that still bothered. I had fun with it, I did, and yeah, you know, like Skarking's personality was funny. I was like, yeah, it's total scumbag. I get it, you know.
But they were a real threat.
Whack. Yeah, they were no threat whatsoever. Godzilla did not need to evolve. It was fucking whack. Now don't get it twisted. Again, fuck that tail. But that Spiral Studios Godzilla Evolved that I have purchased in a pre-order, I cannot wait to hold that shit in my arms.
Where'd it go up? I'm not buying that shit.
No, that shit went up last week. Chase put it up when we were live streaming last week.
Yeah, it's Spiral Studios, the place JR refuses to buy from.
Well, they are expensive, but this is only $180.
Ridiculously expensive. How much was this one?
$180.
$180? Yeah, their cheapest figure until now was like $280 up front. I'm like,
yeah, and that was probably a smaller figure. This is a nice size statue. Anyhow,
yeah, no, it's a 25 centimeter, just like X Plus does, and it's hitting the same price point.
And
so.
it looks dope, and I can't wait to have it.
It looks
That's
good.
Dope. But fuck,
pointless evolution to change design for toys, and then sit there and tell people, yeah, go watch it. You'll figure out why you changed it.
And that's another thing, is there's all this talk about Godzilla's design not being permanent, and that he's in a mid-transition to another design, and that it was also inspired by Dragon Ball Z and all this stuff going on. And
I don't like that.
You know what, though? And it's funny, because, you know, we can say that now, especially, and it would seem fitting because Toriyama passed away right before this movie comes out, and you know, Dragon Ball means a lot to a lot of people. I mean, look at the Latin countries. You see what they were doing in the Latin countries when they heard this man died? They were going out into their town squares by the thousands and doing spirit bombs. That's insanity. That you have reached a peak beyond enlightenment when you get that type of fucking acknowledgement. So I mean, like, hearing those comparisons to Dragon Ball, hell, I made one. It's like, oh look, you and then Gam shot me down. It's like, yeah, that meme came out 5 months ago. Oh, late to the party again. But
I don't know. I just don't think personally Dragon Ball Z and Godzilla should, because that's a personal thing. I'm not a big Godzilla or not a big Godzilla.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree.
Here's the thing with that is like, I personally don't mind the Dragon Ball Z comparison. But the thing is there's already two contradicting things. Wingard said it was just because he likes the color pink. And this Jared guy says, no, it's because of Dragon Ball Z. How much you also want to bet, too, it's that someone proposed that question and that Jared guy didn't have a really legitimate answer, and so he just went with it. So, yeah, sure.
I would take, in all honesty, the Dragon Ball explanation over I just like pink any day of the week. And I'm not saying that he's not wrong. I'm not saying he's not wrong. But as a geek and a fanboy, I'm like, oh, he went Super Saiyan Godzilla. I'm with that. I like that.
Well, he does. He like at the ending there when he charges his beam and his arms open up and stuff. That's total Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
so here's the problem with that though. Is that to be expected? Every new Godzilla movie, he's going to evolve into another Super Saiyan form. But that gets tired.
Thing is they just said that, yeah, this is not a permanent transition.
I almost wonder if it's not a permanent transition because a lot of fans were pissed at the design change, and they're like, we're going back.
I feel like it's a lot of damage control, too. I think the truth comes out, it's damage control.
Because
the thing is, that's also smart, because if they want to do another design and an update, they can without any contingencies.
Yeah, because I was talking to my buddy earlier who hasn't seen the movie yet, and I have, and he's like, so why does he look like that? Because I don't like it. And I'm like, they don't really give you a fucking reason in the movie. Like, they try to, but it's kind of glossed over and not acknowledged. And he's like, so why'd they do it? And I'm like, because the designer and the director are too much of chicken shits to just admit they wanted to change the design, so they gotta have a reason.
And see, the thing is, that's another thing. They could have easily fixed that issue if with them going that route, if they also utilized Tiamat better and longer and actually had that explanation more prominent of like, he's going to this place to kill Tiamat because of the super solar flares energizing the planet. Tiamat's in his way, and he wants a new home. And then when he comes out pink, they even acknowledge, oh, wow, why is he pink now? Well, it's because he absorbed Tiamat's energy. Like, that would at least explain, like, oh, instead of it being... They don't even acknowledge his color change or his appearance change at all after that point.
That's
true. It's fucking baffling to me.
There's an old saying with movies is show don't tell. In the middle of the fight, why not just have visually Godzilla absorbing the shit off of Tiamat?
Absolutely.
Visually show it, and then they could be like, oh my god, that's why.
You know what?
They're trying to figure it out. That's why.
Holy shit.
Because whatever energy Tiamat has, Godzilla's absorbing it. He's trying to supercharge, not just it's there in the layer.
And you know what? Hold up.
What do you mean by that?
I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you.
Grabbing Tiamat and draining her? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. Because look. It's been established already. King of the Monsters. Mothra gave her life. And what did Godzilla do with it? When he pulsed, what did we
Mothra. Absolutely something.
So it's established lore. That works. Oh my god.
And fighting Tiamat, and you just see the dorsal plates like from front to back lighting up pink.
Dude, it's like
as he absorbs that energy. And she could be blasting beams, scratching them, pushing them off, smashing. It would have been a badass. Like, and it's 10-minute fucking fight.
No, that's too long. It's too long. That's too long.
8 minutes.
And that's way too long. No. This fight scene had to be at least 3 to 4 minutes, only because a 10-minute fight scene is what the climax is. But I agree with that.
When Godzilla kills Tiamat, that's when he goes into the lair, and then you could have a comment. Oh, he's not done.
Could you imagine if it was just Godzilla showing up to Tiamat's lair and just mean mugging her, and Tiamat was just like, okay, and then just wraps herself around Godzilla's dorsal plates and just gives him her energy,
That's
and
it.
then she just dips.
She turns blue.
It builds up this rivalry that they established in the comic that's still canon.
And
that they're
Tiamat was
both
blue
rivals.
in the comic. Tiamat was
Yeah.
blue. So here's the deal. So in that regards, then Wingard was following the source material. I love your idea because again, it has been established that Godzilla is able to absorb, the energy because of
And you see him
Mothra.
eating the reactor.
We've seen him eating
And
the
it gives
reactor.
us something new.
Right.
It does, because we've never seen Godzilla actually ever absorb, other than Mothra, but actually physically in a fight, fucking absorb radiation from another monster.
Now that being said, as much as I do like that, it is unnecessary to do that because in the comic book, Tiamat is not pink or purple; it's blue.
Yeah, but it's still like I said.
So,
it
but
would've established,
what I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
that being said, why is Tiamat blue in the comic but not in the movie? Because now Tiamat is in this place where that
Yeah.
cosmic radiation, that is what's turning her pink. So Godzilla kills her, goes in there, and that is what turns Godzilla pink. So it makes sense in that regard.
Yeah.
It makes sense in that regard. I tip my hat in that regard. Now, that's only because if the comic book is canon, Tiamat is not pink in the comic
No.
at all. So it makes sense. If Tiamat is pink there must be a reason. The energy source. It's giving her that radiation. It's turning her that color. So Godzilla does the same thing. Now again, did Godzilla really need to do that? No. Why? Because he destroyed Ghidorah. Granted, he had Mothra level up powers, right? But he destroyed Ghidorah. And then he killed Kong twice. In GVK. He killed Kong twice. Humanity saved him with depth charges the first time, right? And then fucking Mecha got who saved him? No. Then he had him dead to rights, and Kong yielded. But he was dead to rights. Godzilla had him. And Kong yielded. Said, all right, you win. All right? That being said, Kong was whipping the shit out of Scar King. He was. Kong would have beat him without the glove. Didn't matter. Scar King had an ace up his sleeve. It was Shimo. But Kong whipped Scar King's ass 9 out of 10 times. So Godzilla regular would completely demolish Scar King. No problem. None. Right? And then Shimo,
Yeah.
I mean, if Godzilla needed to be supercharged to take on Shimo, they did a shitty job to explain that. Because Shimo seemed like no threat. Again, when you had that stupid crystal controlling it through pain, if you don't have that, then there's no issue. Shimo just lives its fucking life.
It reminds me of that one interview or that one review I saw where it said Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire was a visually stunning and entertaining film, but left a lot on the chopping floor.
Yeah.
And I feel like that there's a lot that was cut from this movie that needed the explanation that it needed, and mostly it was just with the plot explanation.
Yeah, they did a lot of that explanations with when they went into the Iwi temple and she read everything on the wall. That's where all the and even oh my god, Bernie, he was king exposition. You know what I mean? Like Bernie had a lot of exposition in the movie, and that was good. It worked. You know why? Because while what's her name is a scientist, she's a Kong whisperer, right?
She's the Jane Goodall of Kongs.
Right, exactly. This dude's actually really fucking smart. Bernie's a smart dude. Conspiracy theorist, but he's a fucking smart dude. So I love how he would explain how when the pyramids touch gravity because of Iwi technology, which is just mercury and red dye that goes into this thing, it's gonna switch everything up.
No, it's mercury and red berry juice.
That's fucking
I'm
true.
gonna sip on it.
Can't wait.
A wine glass
Listen,
and sit down
I'm
by
coming back.
Shitface
I'm
Kong is
coming
making a
back,
comeback.
The next Kong movie, he's gonna be shit-faced falling off the throne, and Shimu's gonna be having to pick him up.
Oh my god! But I mean, there's so many things, and again, what does the future hold? I honestly, I would be interested in the next one. I would like to see the trilogy wrap up, only because if they do, I would love to see if it went the route I'm thinking it should go. Like you said, if they make money, they're going to want to continue to make money. How do we continue to make money? Now let's separate the Kong and Godzilla movies. We've established them together. We don't need Lethal Weapon monsters, okay? We don't. Let's split it up again, right? We do a Godzilla.
Cash.
Yeah, exactly. We do a Godzilla movie.
We don't.
We do a Kong movie. And honestly, it writes itself. The Godzilla movie could literally be him putting the fucking Titans away.
And that's the thing. I think that's what scared them, was because of King of the Monsters not performing to the expectations. That scared them, and they're like, we need something to save us, or else this franchise that's now a $2 billion franchise. Congratulations, pop the cork and confetti. They're like, oh, we're gonna lose it. But now it's a little bit of a different story, but I still think they're gonna milk another one with Godzilla and Kong, but we'll see.
And I think this is a perfect opportunity on Toho's part. It's like, listen, we want to make a Godzilla movie. Partner more so with Legendary. Toho, you won an Oscar with -1. Your Academy Award-winning film. Help this MonsterVerse. Does it need help? I don't know. It makes the big bucks. It seems to be doing good. But where to take it? Because you've got the director saying, well, destroy it, but not destroy it. Little Godzilla, not Little Godzilla. You got the fucking, the thread line in the movie is fucking aliens. You've completely abandoned all sense of any reality when we started Grounded. Where do we go from here? Where, honestly, and that's what I mean. And it's the same thing I said with Fast 9 when they sent them to space. And why I haven't seen Fast 10 is, once you go to space, where are you going? You fight Freddy Krueger.
That's great. That's great. Look, Godzilla and Kong fought before they went to space. It's perfect. It's perfect.
But here's the thing: is they didn't go to space, but we still saw Godzilla floating around.
Oh my God! I just had a fucking idea where you can crown Kong king without killing Godzilla whatsoever. Wrap the trilogy up. I spoke about this last week. There's so much damage that Godzilla has done himself, right? That now humanity is gunning for Godzilla, and they are creating weapons. I mean, remember, these movies are set in the future, right?
Yeah.
So now we can just start making shit up legit. We can really go places, right? We really can. We can make Jet Jaguar. We can go places.
And that's another thing, too, is Jet Jaguar is a very big Easter egg in New Empire.
Oh, yeah, the punch, that had me cracking up.
And I think there's like a fucking painting or picture of him or something. I can't
remember. No,
so
it just said...
I know there's a picture of of Knifehead from Pacific Rim.
Oh, really?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah, on that same painting mural where it says punch, punch, punch.
It was Godzilla eating something.
And on right before the pizza, there's a silhouette of Knifehead. It's blue.
It's happening. That's how you bring the aliens into it.
Yeah.
That's how you bring the aliens into it.
If they cross Pacific Rim, you know what? I was bitching about it back then, but they've gone there now. They've officially gone there. This is where you go full-on Marvel and create the Doctor Strange portals or the America Chavez.
No, listen.
This shit.
Listen, you have humanity going after Godzilla. And I'm not saying Godzilla can't hold his own. But at this point in time, because what has been established with this movie, once again, holy shit, you look at who established this. Mothra established that Godzilla can absorb, other kaiju. Mothra has established, Godzilla, this is not the enemy. So, that being said, you have Godzilla now being attacked by humanity. Godzilla's like, word? Starts decimating everything, where Kong has to come back up and have that talk. Like, what are you doing? At the same time, maybe Kong is trying to stop humanity from fighting Godzilla. Granted, because he doesn't understand the fact that the collateral damage that Godzilla has caused is there's no you can't go without repercussion, right?
Yeah.
And then Mothra has to be that centipede because now you have Godzilla not just lunging at Kong as soon as he sees him. He knows. He knows. At this point in time, Godzilla knows, all right, not a threat. And he's not a threat. Let's be fucking for real here. Godzilla killed him again in this movie. If it wasn't for Mothra, Kong is dead. Am I lying?
Yeah,
No, he was pissed.
Kong would have been a frozen yogurt.
Yeah, Godzilla did the same exact thing he did to him in Hong Kong, except this time he was about to incinerate his face. He was about to incinerate his face until Mothra came. So let's nobody can tell me different in that regard. Gams.
And see, that's another thing that pisses me off is like even his pink spiral beam, he didn't kill anything with it.
No, there was no need for it.
And that's the thing is like Godzilla needed to kill something, man.
See, man, but that's what kind of pisses me off because then you start downplaying like the Mutos, for instance, literally gave the kiss of death, spit hot atomic blue flame down the Mama Muto's throat, and it disintegrated her neck, where he could just rip it off and just chuck it to the side in his triumphant roar, right? But now, I mean, what I loved with GVK is Kong never got the full brunt of the fucking beam, right? He got clipped. He got clipped in the back when he was because he's agile. He's agile. Same thing with Scar King. But again, if Godzilla's evolved, shouldn't his breath be evolved too? Like
like Scar King shouldn't have an arm. That's what should have happened. Scar King got clipped, and then it could cut to him standing up like nothing happened, and his arm just falls off.
Not just that, but when the beam, when Godzilla used his atomic breath on Shimo should have had a crevice just dug through her chest.
It should show her like her ice, like maybe she's charging up her ice and you just see it melting, like her body starts to sweat because when something super cold gets heated, it sweats water. Visually show us what the fuck is happening.
And that's another thing that I noticed though, when Godzilla shoots his atomic breath into the sky, you see the hues of blue within the pink, and I like that
in the
a lot.
spiral,
That was cool.
and it was almost kind of like in a spiral. It was the spiral ray, and it was
a
great.
spiral beam.
It was great, and I do love that.
So, design change-wise, what they do for the next movie, I don't know. I mean, they've gotten their shit, and people have said it. There was no point to do it in the movie.
So I have a crazy radical idea for this.
Please don't make them 98.
Oh,
Wait, do
yeah.
it.
Oh, damn.
Do it.
You read my mind. No. But by the way,
Dude,
I don't know.
So that's what they do. They bring, hold on, Ray.
Yeah,
They bring 98 back as Godzilla Jr.
I buy it. I totally fucking buy it. I totally fucking buy it. No, I wouldn't even be mad. I wouldn't be. Best Monsterverse movie ever. Right then and there. Best Monsterverse ever.
Then he dies by missiles, and Godzilla roars, "Damn you, Nico Totopoulos!" and then destroys the planet.
He pulses and destroys the planet.
I think I said earlier today, I was like, just round it out. The next one's just 1998. They changed the design so it looks like 1998. We Americanized it. We just go back.
No, so here's what we do, right? We do everything I was talking about, right? Humanity going after Godzilla because of what Godzilla has done to humanity as of late. There's no coming back for it. Yo, he's a threat. He's more of a threat than these dormant titans, right? Like, Monarch had that shit under control. And now Godzilla is not... He was never in anybody's control. He's out of control. Kong tries to stop humanity from doing whatever they do, but they make this weapon. I don't know what it is, but they make us something. And they fucking get him. They get him. And all he is now a fucking husk. A la Gamera 2. When the fucking pod blows up in his face and he's just a husk in fucking Sendai Station, right? Bro, that's what you do. And you do it in Japan. You do it in Japan.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of these
Do
MonsterVerse
it in
movies.
Japan, and then at the end,
What's wrong with Japan?
right? And then at the end, right? Because Kong kind of confused as to like, well, maybe because Kong really he knows he's smart. Kong's very smart, and he's like, wait a minute, if they do that to him, well, fuck, they could do that to me. Now Kong's not gonna go on a rampage like that, but he's gonna be indifferent now, right, to humanity. Until all of a sudden there's these rumblings and oh shit, there's Godzilla. Oh, hammered out, and then
you're peaking that dopamine there because I still think it would be really cool if they went King Kong lives, and if humanity went to mine the Hollow Earth, Kong going against humanity again would be really fucking cool, I think.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. Well, maybe you get both in one movie. I mean, like, honestly, maybe
because I mean, like, now that Kong has also found a family too, I'm like, okay, obviously, I guess we could throw in like he's gonna probably find a girlfriend or a wife, and then he's gonna have an actual son of Kong, and then he's gonna get shot up by tanks and military at the end. They're gonna have a pacemaker in him and all that, you know.
Kong dies at the end of this movie, and Godzilla roars and gives him the title of king and then dips. New Godzilla, after he busts out that shell that they fucking thought they killed him with, that's what they do. They Shin Godzilla him, right? They shoot him up with something that turns him to stone, but they don't even realize that within the stone,
the cadmium
works. Oh my God, bring back cadmium. It works.
The Cadbury,
bring back the Super X.
And they don't understand.
Cadbury chocolate.
Just like a lizard, Godzilla's shedding his fucking skin. And poof, now we get Godzilla back to basics. He looks just like S.I. Jr. And we continue from that. And Toho's like, ho, 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 ho. Silly Americans, we got you right where we want you.
Or he comes out of the husk looking like Godzilla from -1.
Even better, that's what I'm saying. Like, he comes out with the motherfucking straight up Toho design. Oh my God. Or he comes out and he's Shin Godzilla. I'd even buy that. I can't even lie. I'd be like, well, fuck. We've come full circle.
That'd be another movie that collects dust next to Shin Godzilla in my book.
But that's
It was so funny when I pulled out Shin Godzilla to watch it again before -1. I put my handprint on the DVD case and made my hand look like Scar. Like at that point, Scar King. With Scar I made my handprint look like the thing on Skull Island.
That's great.
But that's the problem. Like I said, like they've pinned themselves. Adam Wingard, you want to sit here and make another movie to round out the trilogy? All right, finish the fucking story. Finish the fucking story.
Finish the story, Cody.
That way we can figure out what's going on. Because honestly, if I had an hour to pick this motherfucker's brain, after seeing his 2 Godzilla movies, and this one was 100% his.
Correction, his 2 Kong movies.
Yes, 2 Kong movies.
Which is so
want to
funny.
know.
Which is so funny you guys say that because I was doing research the other night after I watched Peter Jackson's King Kong because I remember when Peter Jackson's King Kong was going to come out, there was going to be a sequel Peter Jackson wanted to do.
Yeah.
And he actually wanted Adam Wingard to direct his sequel.
Which is
and
crazy.
it was going to be Kong Skull Island. And it just never happened, but then Kong Skull Island turned into Kong Skull Island. And apparently that also...
Would that have been a prequel?
No, it would have been a sequel, Peter Jackson said. He wanted to make an actual sequel to his 2005 King Kong movie.
So it would have... So there would have been another Kong or something? Another ape?
Yeah. It's something on the lines that is going to be like another Son of Kong type thing.
Okay.
And just like the same thing, exploring Skull Island, there's going to be more Kongs, stuff like that. And they were going to have Adam Wingard direct it because he saw one of Ian Wingard's movies, and it was one of his horror movies. It was something, I can't remember what I would know what it was called if I saw it, but
The Visit?
What?
The Visit.
I don't know if it was The Visit. It was a longer title than that. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
No, you're good. I'm trying to think of his, because he did The Visit, and The Visit's actually an unofficial sequel to his first movie. I can't remember. You're Next. Was it something like that?
You know what? It might have been Your Next.
Because Your Next, I know, was his first theatrical movie. The Visit is his unofficial sequel to it. And then he kind of ended that. But yeah, and that's when he went and did Blair Witch. And then after that, he did that horrible Death Note movie, and now he's in the Monsterverse. If I'm correct with his filmography, which
so what Wingard said here, somehow Peter Jackson saw an early version of my movie Your Next, and he was interested in me directing a sequel to his King Kong film. It was just going to be called Skull Island, and I was going to have Simon Barrett write it, and they said that it just went wayside. It got dragged out, so they didn't get to make it. But yeah, there's definitely. I just think that's funny as a full circle of Wingard was gonna do King Kong all along, and then now he's done it too.
That's the thing I'll say about Wingard and Kong is he does make good Kong movies. Again, I love the GVK Kong stuff. I love the Kong stuff in this movie. I just don't think he knows. He understands Kong as a character. He knows how to flesh out Kong. I don't think he understands Godzilla. I really don't. To me, and I think Rob said it, Adam Wingard thinks of Godzilla as frat boy jock drinking Bud Light.
That's not nice.
I know, because you're drinking Bud Light.
I disagree with that because I full-heartedly believe that Wingard does know Godzilla. I full-heartedly think that Wingard takes too much of the Shawa to heart, though. I think that when he says that his Godzilla movies remind him of, like, he takes Shawa inspiration, I think in a way he's using that just to tickle the fans. And he may be right in some regards, because, I mean, I'm not going to lie, these movies do feel campy and Shawa-esque, but they're not Shawa movies.
No, they're not. They're not.
No, but here's
but the thing is you can't necessarily. I mean, like I said, they just feel like MonsterVerse movies. They don't feel like anything other than that.
It's hard
now,
to
they
say
can
that,
have
though.
reminiscent tones of certain things, but they just feel the same to me. They don't feel like it's something from 80, 70 years ago.
Hear me out.
80 years ago, Chase. Wait, whoa! You're like aging Godzilla by 10.
I corrected myself to 70.
Hold on. Hear me out, though. See, and I'm gonna. 2014, you started to see the early signs of Godzilla as a character, with his facial expressions, the way he behaved, his maneuver. King of the Monsters fleshed that out. No one can deny that. It's in the fucking movie. Godzilla felt like a character that was understood. These people understood his character, and then you get the GVK, and I said it in my original review of it, it felt like they toned it down with him as a character. He doesn't feel as much like it. There's still a little bit, but not as much. This movie, he's just dumb monster that destroys shit in my eyes.
I agree with that.
They dumbed him way down. And that's what I mean. Adam Wingard doesn't understand Godzilla as a character. He just, as you put it, it could be put perfectly. Dumb Showa lizard.
Yeah, I get. So I agree with Chase, and I agree with you. I do agree actually with both of y'all in this regard. In regards to Wingard saying Godzilla's more Showa-esque, I agree with that because Godzilla's kicking ass. Against whatever he comes up against, Godzilla's kicking ass. And in the Showa series, like, 3 times he got his ass whipped? You know?
Yeah.
Once by Mothra. Well, no, just
Gigan Ghidorah.
Yeah, but he actually won, right? Right, yeah, Mechagodzilla. But Mechagodzilla beats Godzilla in every fucking movie Mechagodzilla's in. Like, legit.
That's just how that goes.
Godzilla only wins at the end, except for Mechagodzilla 2, where Godzilla actually wins the first round. Then Mechagodzilla beats Godzilla, kills him dead until Rodan, who has his real roar. And you know that's where Michael Dougherty stole straight from that shit. Dougherty stole straight from that shit.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah, there is, because that was Rodan with Rodan's Raw. Stupid motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
But, hear me out when it comes to Godzilla as a character in the MonsterVerse. This is where I agree with you, JR, to a certain extent. Because I don't think Wingard changed Godzilla's character in GVK. He did. And you know why? He kept exactly what Dory set up for the next movie. He kept that. He kept Godzilla. I mean, the opening credits even says it. Godzilla's going after every fucking Titan and putting them down. Because at the end of King of the Monsters, that's what Godzilla had to do. See, in 2014, he just didn't want a global muto, fucking species that destroyed humanity. Godzilla was the protector of all that shit. He had to kill them. It wasn't this instinctual thing. It was like, nah, y'all can't do that. I gotta keep the balance here. When Ghidorah came out, the balance went fucking crazy. So Godzilla had to get crazy. He became Bruce Wayne in Vicky Vale's apartment when the Joker came. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. And then he gets shot down. Comes back as Batman, right? Pretty much. He got wings and everything, right? Boom. And that's the same Godzilla you see in GVK. And I ain't nobody escaping this. I am here to stop everything. So when you see Godzilla in the beginning destroying the Apex site, humanity is like, what the fuck is he doing? They don't realize what's going on yet, right?
Yeah, but that's that.
That's that
Godzilla
right,
unintentionally killing humanity. Where in this one, whew.
And that's the thing. And in this movie is where I do agree with you. There's no characterization of Godzilla.
No, he's just fucking dumb and angry.
Yeah, this is Space Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just destroy shit, just to destroy shit.
And no. See, because Space Godzilla kind of... Man, no, you know what? No.
It's hard to compare
It's
this
not
Godzilla
Space Godzilla.
to something.
It is 84, 89... It is 84, 89 Godzilla. It's even 91 when he walks up and shoots Shindo in the face. It's all of that shit. This is Heisei Godzilla, just with a new speaker look.
I didn't have issues with Godzilla at all in this movie. I thought Godzilla was perfectly fine, aside from just the power evolvation thing. I love that he ran and jumped and fucking knocked Scylla across Rome.
Oh,
and blew him into spider slushy.
I got no problem with none of
that stuff.
It was more that there's no rhyme or reason outside of that, because that is still a continuation of what Godzilla was doing at the end of King of the Monsters. He's putting these monsters in place. Kong's chilling. He's downstairs. I ain't got to worry about him no more, right? We got this kind of mutual respect.
I'm also not going to lie, too. I did like Bull in a China Shop Godzilla, too. I like it when Godzilla goes ham and just destroys. But I feel like that would have made a lot more sense and better if Scar King and Shimu were utilized to be like, oh, this is why Godzilla's doing it, because he has to. He's not doing it just because he's just... It's like...
That's where you go. If you're going to go that route where Godzilla's just destroying shit, pissed off, then be like, Godzilla's fucking given up existing with humanity. He has put monsters away. He doesn't give a fuck what's near him. Fine. Because what's happened in 2014 in King of the Monsters and GVK is he still felt like a character and he still kind of gave a fuck about humanity. For God's sakes, he acknowledged Serizawa sacrificing his life to save him. There was an acknowledgement. Now that shit's out the window. Godzilla's like, fuck all y'all. All y'all are ants beneath my feet. I gotta deal with this fucking asshole. It's your fault.
He not only acknowledged Serizawa, but 5 years prior to that, he acknowledged fucking Ford Brody.
Yes.
Looks dead in the eye. And he acknowledged... Did he?
He acknowledged Gia, and Gia, I think Gia even touches him on the nose.
In this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, yeah, because I was like, wait, I don't remember that.
Yeah, but they definitely look at each other, and Godzilla gets his nose close to her.
That's because Mothra was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It just feels like if you're going in a direction where Godzilla's gonna just start wiping out humanity because fucking reasons, this is kind of the movie that maybe should have started diving into that, especially Brazil. Because you could have just been like, he's done with this shit. He's putting Titans away. There's Titans coming up because Kong's doing shit. What the fuck's Kong doing up here? He's done with everything. And then humans fucking around in the Hollow Earth. Like, how is Godzilla okay with that?
I don't
the
think
Hollow Earth was sealed away from him. Godzilla shit just...
I don't think
know, that's
Godzilla
where
cared
the
about the Hollow Earth.
characterization of him
That's
gets
also
lost.
another thing. That's also another thing I was thinking about is how would the Hollow Earth even really affect Godzilla when he's the guardian above?
Right.
So if like humanity went to mine Hollow Earth, why would Godzilla? I mean, unless it felt like it was. I mean, I guess if they mined Hollow Earth and something was going to have a repercussion that ripple affected to the surface world where Godzilla was, then I can see that. But like other than that, that probably would be more of a Kong-centric issue.
It's right there in GVK. When Kong lights up that axe, Godzilla's like, what the fuck? And tunnels right down. Because there's shit in the Hollow Earth he
Great
doesn't
scene.
want humanity fucking with.
It's one of Godzilla's top 5 scenes of all
It's
time.
there.
Seriously, maybe top 3.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
top
that's
3.
what I mean. It's right there. You have that opportunity to be like, Godzilla don't want humanity going down there.
That scene.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You're telling me Shima's.
That wasn't humanity, though. That was not humanity. That was
That
Kong.
was the monkey doing shit.
Right.
But
That
directly
triggered
shows
something.
you right there. Godzilla has invested interest. He's not down there defending it because he's like, that's not my shit. But when Kong fucks with shit, Godzilla's like, motherfucker, why do I gotta keep doing this shit with you?
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, but
He's
see,
like, first
but-
you fucking find an ancient energy sword
You know
and
what
an
it
axe to
is?
fight me.
You know what it is? Godzilla's just really OCD.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
You know, but that's the thing there is that scene there when Godzilla blows a hole through the earth to the Hollow Earth
Top
with his
3.
atomic breath. That just shows you right there. He didn't need to power up Pink.
Not at
You're
all.
telling me Temo's skin is tougher than that?
Right, exactly.
Shit.
Where the fuck are we going with that, right? And then in that regards, I like Pink. Okay, I mean, again, I buy the Dragon Ball thing. You know, I mean, granted, if you were thinking Dragon Ball, you would probably went gold because of a legit Super Saiyan. That's
And then you said gold. If he's absorbing radiation, why doesn't he have Ghidorah's orange beam like in GMK when he absorbs Ghidorah's radiation at that point? Why doesn't he do that?
that's a great point too. Oh, look, I'll just say it like I don't think I agree with you in this regard. Godzilla doesn't need to be nowhere near the Hollow Earth. If we're gonna do humanity in the Hollow Earth, you leave that to Kong. You leave that to Kong, and that could be your second Kong. That could be your second Kong movie after this trilogy wraps up, right? Like,
Yeah.
again, if you wrap the trilogy up and we
and
still
they-
want to make more money and we want to make more movies, you do Godzilla, then you do a Kong, and then you do Godzilla and Kong one more time, and that's it. What would that be? Where are we at right now? 5 movies? 4?
Yeah, this is the 5th one, yeah.
5 movies, right? So then there will be 6 movies. So an 8 movie altogether, or round about 8 fucking movies, right?
Yeah, 3 Kong movies, now we need our next Godzilla one.
Oh, I'm lying. This is 5, you said? We're at 5 movies now, right?
Yeah, we're at 5 movies now.
Okay, yeah, Godzilla, King of Monsters, Skull Island, GB. Yep. Then it'll be the Wingard Trilogy 6. 2 movies separate, Godzilla separate, Kong separate, and then one last hurrah. 9 movies.
And
wrap
the
it all
Destroy All
up.
Monsters will be called Godzilla and Kong the Avengers.
Could you imagine? Bring back Rodan. Behemoth shows up
Yeah,
like
Rodan with an eye
everything,
patch.
bro. with missiles shooting out of his wings. Let's go. That's
Mecha Rodan.
Mecha. No, not even
I think
Mecha.
Mecha Rodan would be cool.
Not even Mecha. Cyborg Rodan. Like, it's still Rodan, but he's got cyber enhancements. I'm so down. That's why he can have the old Rodan roar, because now the thing is modulating. Because the cybernetics modulates his roar, so it sounds like the classic roar. I'm so down for that.
that's
Wait,
another
where's
thing I'm
Wingar's
thinking
number?
about, too,
Where's
is
Wingar's number? Hold up, I'm gonna call him right now.
with artificial intelligence being the big hype right now, they could still totally do Jet Jaguar with an AI computer system.
Yeah.
They absolutely could. Look,
And
honestly,
that's,
Jet Jaguar and Hollow Earth, I mean, it was in the comic book just now. Like, literally, and if we're gonna count
They
that,
did
we have to
Pacific
count that.
Rim type like art where Jet Jaguar was a Jaeger fighting a Pacific Rim alien.
I think if you're gonna go that route, do it. You already had your Mechagodzilla's already existed, even though I was hoping he wouldn't, but he existed. Fine. Go that route. We're in absurdity. But don't sit here and claim that you're doing something original. Because you're not.
Especially if you're
also,
trying to
like,
do mini Godzilla and fucking destroy it, because that's not gonna happen. I never want to see that happen.
If that happens, I'm telling you right, I won't go fucking see
I
it.
won't go see it either. I'll be honest. Legit. Listen to me. I'll bootleg that shit. You can cancel me now, Toho, but I'll bootleg that shit.
Destroy it, and this is what I mean. Destroy is something that you don't just fucking do willy-nilly because, oh, it's one of my favorite. You gotta have a reason. You gotta have a plan. This series doesn't feel planned out anymore.
I mean,
No. Adam
for
Wingard already knows where he's taking the next one. He said that he already knows.
No, I mean, like, director-wise, sure, but I mean as a whole. Like, what is it? Dave Filoni is in charge of Marvel.
Star Wars.
Yeah, or Star Wars. He plans that shit now. That's planned based off what he's doing, minus Acolyte. I don't know what the fuck anyone's smoking about that shit.
What are you talking about? Acolyte looks good. Is it Acolyte? Is that the one that just showed the trailer? They just showed like a.
Yeah.
I
Where
like
it's
that
all,
shit.
it's
All
no,
Jedis?
then-
Yeah,
Where it's all
the
Jedi?
girl
What's
with the
wrong with
lightsaber.
that? That shit looks dope. It's all Jedi. Y'all don't like Jedis? I thought that was fucking.
It's not that. It's just a little too late for me.
What's late? What's late?
A lot of shit.
Like
A
what?
lot of Star Wars shit.
Like
A
what?
lot of bad shit.
There's nothing. Look, Obi-Wan was bad. Yes, that's true.
Obi-Wan's bad. I won't do
Andor sucks. It's true.
Mandalorian season 3.
I have not watched I watched the first 5-8 minutes of that because they fight a
then-
giant sea monster and that was fucking cool as shit.
And
I haven't watched it
Ahsoka,
yet.
the only thing I liked about Ahsoka was the zombie troopers.
Nah, Ahsoka was good. Ahsoka was good because that's Dave Filoni's baby. And if
But-
you watch Rebels and you watch Clone Wars, Ahsoka is great.
But and I'm talking about also like Kevin Feige's what I was thinking of with Marvel. Like most of this shit's planned. I just feel like they planned
Not
it
recently.
up to yeah, definitely not recently. But the MonsterVerse was planned until a point, and then they were like, "Give it to this guy."
Here's the thing. I like that they, if that's really true, which I doubt. I like the notion of it not being planned in case the movies bomb and they can't go forward, because I don't like left off cliffhangers. I don't like the closure not being able to happen. So
Okay.
I
This
like
one
that it's not.
This has a left off cliffhanger. No one has closure in this movie.
Well, no, not in that regard. The regard to this is that it's left open to your imagination. It doesn't have a definitive plot point for the next one that
there's
pops
no
up where it's
cliffhanger.
like, oh my god, this is what's going to happen next.
Yeah, there's no cliffhanger. But that being said, Chase, you can have a plan, okay? And with that plan, you have to budget. You have to budget. And see, and this is what makes, in my opinion, 2014 so great. That's a one-off movie. That is a
absolutely.
one-off fucking movie, right? So you got a plan. Well, who's gonna make this movie? Hey, there's this guy that made this fucking low-budget indie fucking monster movie called Monsters. Whether you like it or not, this guy made it. So let's get him. Why? Because one, he's gonna be cheap as fuck, okay, to make this movie. We're gonna pay him $1 million to make this movie. We're gonna give this no-name director $1 million to take a fucking franchise like Godzilla, longest running franchise in cinema history. That's a fact. That is a
And
fact.
now Oscar winning.
And now Oscar. Did James Bond ever win an Oscar?
$2 billion franchise. Well,
What?
that's
Well, no,
that's
no.
not-
This way,
that's
yeah,
the MonsterVerse alone.
yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. We're talking about starting
Yeah.
from scratch. What do? Here's your tiny budget, sir. Make us money. And what does he
And
go
he-
out and do? And how does he do it? He knows how to. I mean, granted, remember. I mean, think about it. The fucking not conspiracy, but the big fucking thing, the big controversy about it was there's no Godzilla in this Godzilla movie. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Stop being stupid. Because when Godzilla's on
Less is
screen,
more.
it is the
So this
most
is-
majestic fucking sequences, you know, at that point in time. Granted, we got a
Yes.
shit ton of Toho shit,
And
but
it's all grounded in
and
reality.
it's grounded. So then what do we do?
Less is always more, and that's what I said about this movie. It's like
But
this movie's a kid running around with a fucking shotgun. It doesn't know what it's doing.
but that's what I'm trying to get to. So like
There needs to be impactful moments.
in turn-
2014 had them.
So in terms of planning, the movie comes out to critical acclaim. Right now, granted, the acclaim was way more than than what it made, but it still made money. It was 500 million, close to 500 million on a fucking shoestring budget off of a fucking let's see where this takes us, right?
Yeah.
And from there, they grew. But what were they saying right after the movie? They were, Gareth, what would you do? What's the next step? I would love to use Ghidorah with Mothra Rodan. I would love to do like a Destroy All Monsters type thing. Those were his words.
Yeah.
What did they do? They
They-
asked him. They put. I see personally. I'd have done that movie, and I would have saved that shit for later. Don't do that yet. Don't do
Yeah,
that
King
yet.
of the Monsters should have been a lot later.
Yep. Keep Godzilla grounded
King of
in
the
reality.
Monsters should be what we were getting next.
Right. Exactly.
And not to throw it off, but I just wanted to point this out. I pulled this up. Godzilla 2014 was a box office success, grossing 529 million worldwide,
Okay.
against a production budget of 160 million before marketing, and then 100 million for marketing, and a break-even point of 380 million. So if we're going off of that, for New Empire having 135 and then another 100 for marketing, let's just say, it might be a little bit less for it to break even, but by like what, 30 million? So
I think marketing might cost more for New Empire because they went crazy.
Yeah.
There was some great marketing in that. Great fucking. Whereas like why we light up the Dubai Tower for King of the Monsters, I have no idea. But the marketing for Godzilla X
I
Kong,
would really like to know the actuals for New Empire.
I love
So it's simple. You take the budget and you times it by 2 for marketing.
Yeah.
That's all you do. That's standard. And you could tell this movie got a shout out in fucking WWE. It was officially sponsored by WWE.
Yeah, it was on
But
Monday
that's
Night
a Warner
Raw.
Brothers thing, ain't it?
No, that's
No,
that's
God,
AEW.
no.
That's AEW. AEW did Godzilla vs Kong, and they had a Godzilla vs Kong match, which is still
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. Wardlow versus Luchasaurus.
We gotta watch that shit.
Oh, it was so
we gotta
fucking
watch
dope,
that shit.
bro. I was just so fucking dope. I was like, that was during the pandemic. There was nobody in the crowd, nobody in the stands, and it was just like, this is glorious. I love it.
But no, so you got sponsorships, you got Monster Jam, you got WrestleMania. They were sponsoring it. And then the budgeting, I mean, it's been on fucking everything.
But
as
you
far
know
as,
what,
like,
though?
advertising.
But the advertising for this movie made more sense, in my opinion. The way they did it, the way they marketed it was smart.
Not to blow the fantasy away, but a lot of this advertising we've been seeing has also been computer generated.
Well, yeah, I know the ones that were in like in Venice Beach, right? The one at what's that pier?
The giant ones.
The giant
those
ones,
were-
yeah.
those were-
Because I was
and
about
the
to drive down
ones
there.
in-
I was gonna
The ones
drive
in
down.
London. See, the thing is, what I like about the ones in London were that they were just inflatable balloons.
Yeah.
They didn't cost much, but they looked fucking cool.
So I didn't know that Godzilla was an inflatable balloon. I thought that was an actual
Yeah,
prop.
and so was and yeah, Godzilla was like an inflatable, like one of those things where you're like when you go to summer camp and you go to jump off the pier into the balloon is like one of those things.
So you see, so it's something like that. Those are fucking Thanksgiving Day floats, right? A couple of
Yeah.
$1,000s. That's it. In the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things, a couple of $1,000s. Dude, they marketed in damn near every single fucking foreign market. They did something huge. They did something huge. And that is why I was like, that's spectacular. And now if you're telling me those were fucking floaties in the fucking water of London and the Thames River,
Yeah.
it was a fucking floaty, that's $1,000.
And New Empire comes out in Dubai on the 11th. And they just showed the marketing trailer for that too, which was another like.
I'm not gonna watch it.
They
Spoilers.
they didn't light up the Dubai Tower, but it was something pretty cool.
Thank God. What did they do?
I don't remember. I have to
Oh,
find
okay,
it.
okay. Oh, no, you're good. You're good. No, and that's. But at the same time, this is where Chase. This is where I do agree with Jr. The planning. You plan these movies out. I think King of the Monsters was too early.
Yeah.
But then again, that's because of no planning. That's because we live today, we die tomorrow. And it didn't work. It did not work. And again, I don't hate that movie. I do not hate that movie. I don't.
It's just they didn't know how to market it. They released it fucking 2 weeks after Endgame.
And no.
No, it was a month.
No, I
But
think Endgame
was
came
still
after.
selling out.
Endgame came after.
Oh, so it was
yeah.
Infinity War.
No.
No.
2019 was Endgame. Right? Yep.
Yeah, Endgame came out
Okay.
beginning of April.
No.
Somewhere in the
No, they have
Hold
that
on.
Memorial Day slot, if I'm not mistaken. Godzilla came out before Endgame.
Endgame. Hold on. April 26th is when Endgame came out.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. Godzilla King of the Monsters, May 31st.
So King of the
Endgame
Monsters
was
had.
still selling out.
Oh yeah, they were $2 billion in the box office. That's
Yeah.
retarded. So
That's what I'm saying.
so
And
and
they
that's
shot
where they
themselves
fucked up.
in the fucking foot. They shot that. King of the Monsters should have came out in March. These movies are March movies. They work in March. We know
November
they work in March.
movies, for crying out loud.
Yes.
November movies. Remember how it was harking on GVK coming out in November? Because by that time, the pandemic would be over and people would be legitly going back to theaters? Fuck! And
Well,
it's
that's what
King
King
Kong
of
versus
Monsters-
Godzilla. It's a staple for Thanksgiving.
They didn't know how to market.
King of the Monsters was originally supposed to be a March release.
Yeah, and then they moved it because they were
Yeah.
terrified of Endgame, and then they put it a month after. And you don't do that. And they didn't know how to market it. I'm still saying some of the greatest trailers came from this movie, but they didn't know how to market it. They didn't know when to release it. So they shot themselves in the foot. King of the Monsters, I'm telling you right now, if King of the Monsters was either released early or way later in the year, it would have seen better numbers.
I
They
think
just
so.
didn't know what to do with it.
And when you get a chance, I just put the marketing video up for Dubai.
Okay, yeah,
That's
I
really
just
cool.
saw I
I
saw
like
Godzilla
Dubai.
swimming in the water and the footprints in the
Yeah.
sand. That's pretty cool. I agree, but then again, a lot of the gripes that I had with King of the Monsters, it wasn't just me. It was
Yeah.
it had that Michael Bay Transformers stupid humor. The unnecessary things that turn fans right off. Don't get me wrong, the monster shit is fantastic. They are. I
But
cannot ever knock it. But
And that's
you went from
And that's-
you went
yeah.
from King of the Monsters. I mean, you went from Godzilla 2014, where, like you saying, everything is grounded, and then King of the Monsters, and it doesn't matter whether or not you had the Argo big ass ship, but it went from being serious to being stupid in terms of the joking and all that shit, unnecessary. Because there's a real juicy story there with the human characters. I mean, Mark Russell hates Godzilla because his son died in the Godzilla, in G-Day, on G-Day. There's a legit story there.
you tie up the loose ends of the main story. For instance, with King of the Monsters, what I would have done, focus more on the G-Team element,
Oh, hell yes.
or tracking down the Orca You don't do this big Argo shit. You have a small team trying to hunt it down while this terrorist organization continues the story with them releasing the monsters. But you tighten it up. G-Team, Mark Russell, and you get rid of the stupid fucking jokes.
Agreed.
Take it serious.
Agreed, because
Keep
G-Team...
it grounded, militaristic. The military shit works. That's why I love 2014. It's like the U.S. government is sending in the troops to deal with these monsters. Yes! That's why I always say, I want to see 3 AC-130s bombarding Godzilla. You could have had it in this movie, didn't it?
And G-Team is a part of Monarch. That's their special.
Yep.
That's their special forces.
You could have
just
been like, listen.
Perfect.
Monarch shows up, is like, listen, we've got a team. They're gonna get the stupid orca. We're gonna extract the orca. We're gonna eliminate the terrorist organization before they minimum release 5 Titans. And then it's just instant suspense. Yo, they're actually gonna release these monsters. They have to do it before the 5th. I don't know what's the first one they release. Fucking the biggest, baddest motherfucker of all, Ghidra. Or you don't jump the gun and you do like the biggest, baddest of all, Megalon.
Listen, Megalon is perfect for the Hollow Earth. They lived underground. Seatopia was underground to begin with. I mean, it just makes the most sense. It really fucking does. And I would go that route. I'd totally go that route. If you can't get Megalon, which again, this is what drives me crazy, Toho, your Megalon fucking short for this year was fantastic. It was fantastic. I fucking loved it. The Jet Jaguar shit was fantastic too.
Versus the Seatopians.
Give us Megalon. Like, you're not doing nothing with him. Like, come on.
But that's the problem with having Godzilla. Godzilla's this high level. You skipped the beginning kaiju like Megalon. He's taken on the Ghidras and the Mechagodzillas already. The mother of all titans. He mopped the floor with this bitch. He made her his bitch. Where do you go from there?
Timestamps at 2 hours.
Oh, I'm at 150 right now. I'm looking at.
I see 110 minutes.
I got on after you guys, and mine's at 206. Oh, maybe
there was a 30-minute us bullshitting session.
But no, I really like the idea of the Seatopians versus the Iwis. I think that would be cool.
It'd be great, but I think Megalon would be a perfect Kong villain for the Hollow Earth. Something he could take on. But as far as Godzilla, would be like, the fuck's this guy? You're dead. Bye.
I don't know. I mean, if Megalon just uses drills for his hands the whole time, Kong can't, like, grab a hold of them. They'd get ripped up.
But
hey, that's what I'm saying.
But this is
that's
now
a threat to Kong.
This is where it has to get to something where Godzilla's going to struggle. And it goes back to, like, you got to do something like Biollante, right? But and you go back to the books, right? You go back to those novels. Yeah. Godzilla Returns, Godzilla 2000. Before the movie, there was the book Godzilla 2000, where Ghidorah came in a motherfucking in an asteroid, and the asteroid belt was like raining down, and they were irradiated, and Godzilla fought Kamacuras. Godzilla fought a fucking tornado in Kansas. Godzilla fought a tornado in Kansas. I love that fucking book. That book was fantastic.
Versus Twitter.
Pretty much. Like, it was dope. And then at the end, they were in New York, and Godzilla fought King Ghidorah. But the next book, oh my God. Was it called Godzilla in the Hollow Earth? Whoa. It wasn't how it couldn't have been. It's too on the fucking nose.
Who's afraid of Godzilla?
No. Godzilla Random House.
I think if you did something like Megalon, you would need also another kaiju. Like, I think Gigan and Megalon are a pair. I think that would be cool.
I just think Kong fighting Megalon works.
Oh, okay.
It's Godzilla,
It's Godzilla Returns, right? Godzilla Returns, 1996. That's where I got my tattoo off of that cover of that book. Godzilla 2000, 1997. That's where he fights King Ghidorah in New York. Godzilla at World's End. They introduced Biollante. Biollante is kind of Cetopian, if you will. It's underground. It's like a fucking goddess. And then Godzilla versus the robot monsters, where they make a Mecha Godzilla and Moguera, and yeah, it was fun. It was good times. Man, I'm gonna go read those books again. Oh shit!
I just think
that's dope.
I just think this is like the problem, and you know it stems from King of the Monsters as well. I'm not gonna deny it. It's like we are just getting Endgame Godzilla. This is Endgame Godzilla all the time. So it's like.
It's what sells, though.
What threat do we have? And that's where the talk of Destroyer comes in, and that's the problem. It's like,
but Destroyer is not a threat. I mean, no, let me rephrase that. Destroyer, it's lazy. It's lazy.
It's lazy. It's uncreative, and it doesn't fucking fit anymore. Destroyer doesn't fit the MonsterVerse anymore. There was a time where it could have, and that's long gone. Because, and I said this before, if Wingard has Destroyer and Godzilla in a movie, Destroyer will take Godzilla into outer space, and we will see them fight in the outer atmosphere of Earth. No, and that's stupid.
I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. You can totally get away with spacefaring aliens. I mean, Gigan. If they go that route, Gigan would work. But again, it can't be that aliens brought Gigan. It just Gigan shows up. But what I would do when you do aliens, when the aliens do arrive, I do King Ghidorah all over again. You just do Grand King Ghidorah. You do Death Ghidorah. You do Kaiser Ghidorah. But you do a Ghidorah. You do it because, like Godzilla,
Gigan and Ghidorah.
Or you do Gigan and Ghidorah and fuck around and Shimo is the Anguirus. Hell yeah!
Again, I have to shout Rob out. As much as Hedra wouldn't be a threat, you could do shit with Hedra.
I'm down for that 1000%. I'm down for that.
Because there's more you could do with Hedra, where Hedra has a form, yes, but liquefies and covers Godzilla, and Godzilla's just like dying and shit. I don't know.
And then he evolves into the greatest form of all time. He gets rid of the Thagomizer tail.
Or what he does is he absorbs Hedorah like radiation and turns charcoal black.
Wait, you're telling me he absorbs trash and turns into the goat from Goat Simulator 3 and starts burping up cans and smells bad?
Indeed,
no,
he does.
I used to own goats. I don't like goats.
Oh, I love goats. They're terrible creatures.
They're terrible creatures. They almost killed my dad.
Listen, Godzilla versus a goat. Let's go.
Dude, a goat kaiju would be cool on the Hollow Earth, I think.
But that's the thing. It's like, at this point, I don't think you could pull from Toho's roster unless it's Destroyer or another Ghidra. I don't think there's anything left that's this much of a threat.
I mean, I don't know. I think you can still pull from Toho's roster if it's done right.
Orga?
No. I mean, you do aliens, maybe, but...
Yeah, but that's it. So you have Destroyer, a different Ghidra, and Orga. Because he's just too powerful.
If they literally wanted to go that route, they could do Biollante either as a creature that lived in the Hollow Earth or a creature made in the lab.
And I am totally okay with Biollante. Listen, they say, and that's where you could retcon shit, be like, Shimu's the mother of Titans, fine. But Biollante's the mother of nature. And Godzilla's there to protect nature. Well, what happens when nature's fucking sick of your shit? That's where Biollante comes into play, and that's where you could explain the giant titans that Kong was walking on, their corpses be like the primordial titans. The titans before the Shimu. Shimu could be the mother of what? Modern titans that we know of, but the primordials. The titans of titans. The Chronoses of the fucking titans. You could go that route and be like, she's the last. Completely fucking dormant. And she's come back to fuck shit up. Because she's sick of people extracting elements from the Hollow Earth. And she's tired of humanity destroying the surface world, and Godzilla's not doing his job enough. That's where you could bring in Biollante, mother of nature, mother of all. Like I was just saying, Biollante could be the primordial Titans. The Titans before the Shibus.
I don't see Biollante being a really threatening villain like that.
Well, no, maybe not a villain. Maybe not a villain. Maybe. Remember going back to that earlier theory of humanity trying to mine the Hollow Earth? Maybe Shimo and Biollante had this symbiotic relationship the way Godzilla and Mothra has a symbiotic relationship, right? Where now, all of a sudden, you've got, I don't know, they're building X, Monarch Station over here. We go back to it, and it's covered in fucking vines. And something is crushed. Just the vines have crushed it. Shit like that. I like the idea of this, like, Mother Earth type of thing. It's not that it's not like it's a bad guy, but it's an entity protecting itself. A Venus flytrap type of thing, too. But Kong will probably die in that movie, so we can't do that.
That's what I also mean. Like, Biollante could be the protector of nature. See, Godzilla's keeping the balance. And the next movie be like, Godzilla's sick of shit, and he's just destroying shit. He's done. It's there. In this movie, he's Attitude Era fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin in this movie.
Yes, he is.
Just destroying shit. You need a Vince McMahon to come in and get his ass kicked. But because Stone Cold always kicked his ass.
He did.
But that's what I mean. You have Biollante show up and be like, Godzilla's fucking destroying everything. Humanity's in the Hollow Earth extracting shit. Nature, the balance is off. And Kong ain't it. Godzilla was the last balance to nature. Well, now nature's pissed. And she's in the form of Biollante.
And that's the thing. It was there. They made reference to it. Wherever the fight, Vegas, for instance, you take Vegas, for instance, what happened to Vegas? Life sprung up.
Yeah.
Why?
Superfauna overgrew.
Superfauna, and that's what Biollante is. It's superfauna. It doesn't need, and again, that's the thing, it's like, you don't need it to be, it's Godzilla's cells with a fucking plant cell. No, you don't need that.
No.
It makes sense. Biollante a beautiful thing to be Mother Earth. Biollante could be a part of those Ultra Titans. That shit that Kong walked over.
She's the primordial Titans. So, and this is the story you could do. In the
I just want to add, however, I agree with you that Biollante doesn't need Godzilla cells. I do think that there is a lot you could still do with that type of a concept. If you wanted to go to a humanity-based conflict,
you could.
If you wanted to do like humanity's trying to create weapons, or they create another creature in a lab or something like that with Godzilla's radiation or DNA or something they find, they could totally do that.
Hey, you're onto something. What Millennium movie did that? That had the end credit scene that had the Godzilla fucking cells in the
2003.
It was Kiru.
First one, right? Really?
Yeah, it's Kiru.
I thought the first Kiru movie was her saying goodbye to Kiru.
It was SOS.
SOS.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, dude.
Sorry,
no,
I'm
I'm totally
holding on
down.
to my thought right now.
No, yeah, I'm sorry, but no, I'm sorry, Chase. You were right, and that's what it brought me to.
That's what I think. You could totally do something like that. I honestly still think like the idea of humanity going after, like, humanity is upset with the Titans. I think there's a lot of avenues you can go, because you could do a destroy all monsters as well, still from the perspective of humanity just not digging with the Titans anymore, even Kong included. But like, do I think that's the case? No, but I still think there's still avenues, like Monarch protecting the Titans, go after the humans, the humanity. There's going to be like an activist, even though it's cliche, goes after Monarch, and then there's this war with humans trying to overthrow Monarch, and causes a whole bunch of avenues to open up with the monsters and Titans. I still think there's a fruitful basket you can pick from.
Yeah.
At this point, it just it's just who knows.
But at that point, Godzilla's already caused enough damage where Monarch can't save him anymore, and they know it.
And that's where the world's governments straight up are like, we're done. Monarch shut down. and the world's governments don't know how to contain these monsters. They break free. There's your destroy all monsters. But the problem with destroy all monsters is we have Endgame Godzilla who's just going to mop the floor with every monster that comes out.
Let's say, even though you do, let's say they even do destroy it. What's not to say that they get to a point where humanity tries everything they can to kill Godzilla, ultimately creating Destroya in the process?
No. Don't
Listen,
like
I'm
it.
going back to Primordial Titans.
I like
man.
the Primordial
And
Titans. I like
Violante,
yeah.
Because you could have the Primordial Titans where it's like you have the Primordial Titan of fire, earth, air, and nature.
Oh, you're talking about Avatar?
This is the Sinister Six, but it's the Earth element.
But that's what I'm thinking. You go back. Look, we're at this point where reality with these fucking movies is beyond non-existent.
The reality got thrown out after 2014.
Whoa.
Fucking God of War 2.
Whoa, we just wrote the next 3 fucking MonsterVerse movies.
Yes.
We literally just wrote it in the last hour. By the way, we're 2 hours into the fucking live stream. Let's go! 2 hours in. Will we break 6? No. But no, we literally just wrote, because all of a sudden I'm listening to what y'all saying, and I say, holy crap, you know what? I rethink my strategy on how to evolve Godzilla. There's a perfect way to evolve Godzilla. It's through Biollante. It literally is through Biollante. And then you can do the whole, for the fans, Godzilla cells and plant cells. Okay? Now what I'm saying is but Biollante actually stops Godzilla's rampage.
Yes.
It ain't Kong. Kong gets his ass whipped because that's what Kong is there for. Get his ass whipped. But it's Biollante, a primordial. And I love this idea of a primordial titan. That just rocks. It feels right for this.
It was in this movie. You had
feels right.
The
And then,
skeleton that Kong was walking on.
Yeah.
It's there.
And it's like
utilize it.
It's like Biollante comes up, right? And you have, whichever form you want. You want rose form or you want alligator form? I like alligator form personally.
Oh, start with alligator form.
Yeah,
you absolutely do.
You don't kill Godzilla. You wrap Godzilla in a cocoon a la Mothra. And then when Godzilla busts out that cocoon, it's a brand new form, a form that's more likened to what we're used to in the legendary universe, right? And if it just so happens to look a little bit like a Toho Godzilla, so be it. That's what we want, right? Like, the fans are gonna love it. And all of a sudden it's not against humanity no more, because now you do the fucking end game. Now the fucking aliens are descending. Now you've got a Gigan, a King Ghidorah, or whatever the fuck you want. But that's what you do.
Wars.
Or Space Godzilla, right? You do a legitimate Final Wars where Godzilla should be
Godzilla
OP.
comes from Planet X.
Right, where Godzilla should be OP, but he's only OP for the Titans on the world, on the planet.
Yeah.
We ain't never seen nothing like this. See, King Ghidorah was one thing, all right? One off. Maybe he was the baby. That's why I say you could do so much more with King Ghidorah. You could do another King Ghidorah. You could do Queen Ghidorah.
It's funny you say that, because I was thinking about that actually like last night. Like, if they did Planet X, why couldn't they do Gigan and some other King Ghidorah? Because I'm thinking about it as like, what if King Ghidorah, if it is from a planet, what about other species of that monster?
Right.
So I totally would buy like a Grand Ghidorah, Death Ghidorah, type of different Ghidorah, and then we could get Godzilla and Kong fighting Ghidorah.
Legitly, right? Like, legitly.
I would love to see that.
So, I mean, honestly, I think we just solved the problem for the MonsterVerse going forward. At least 4 more movies, right? At least.
Yeah.
You have Biollante as a primordial.
The way you can take this franchise is a lot more open if you just sit and think about it.
Exactly.
But no more zero gravity in the Hollow Earth shit.
No more Destroyer.
I still love that scene. I
love it again. We gotta stop it. It
wasn't a scene. It was one of those things where it was like, I didn't think I wanted it until I got it. But it's like, I wouldn't want to see it again.
In a very weird way. In a very weird way, right? In a very weird way, I think Adam Wingard was giving you that Planet X shit in the beginning of the movie, right? And then Zero G Godzilla, because where's Zero G? In all honesty, space.
Planet X.
Right. So what we couldn't get away with in Godzilla versus Monster Zero, when they were on Planet X and they were in space, right? Where they couldn't do the gravity thing, everything just looked like it was normal gravity. Adam Wingard said, I'm going to pay homage to that and do it my own way. They're just not going to know unless they know. I know. Yeah. This is what they did. And this is what we got. I ain't mad at it. I don't ever want to see that again, though. I don't ever want to see that again.
Like one and done. Keep it unique to that movie, but I don't want to see it as a trend.
Mm-hmm. But good God Almighty, man, legendary.
Yeah.
I know you're not listening, but on the off chance you are, yo, we are dirt cheap available, bro. Like,
listen,
you can get us for dirt cheap.
Let me direct your next. Yeah, fuck legendary. Toho!
No.
You want Godzilla scary again?
Toho,
this guy.
They already did that.
Just give us a bunch of Mountain Dews in like 8 hours. We'll have the next 4 Monsterverse movies.
No shit,
here, bro.
Just give us fucking 8 beers in 2 hours, and we got your next 4 movies.
Why don't we drink Hennessy?
I'll get to you after the podcast with that one.
That's gonna get expensive.
How can I only drink Hennessy?
What's that dude from Saturday Night Live, the Cavassier man? You know what I forgot what his name was. They even made a movie with him. That's you.
It does make me wonder, though, in all reality of this, because the turnout for children this time around for this movie seemed like it was in abundance. It feels like I feel like they're gonna try and keep that for the next one.
But that's the best part, is that now the
however,
kids
they could have the movies age with the kids.
Exactly. But that's the best part. You can, like, with this idea of Biollante being a primordial titan, Kong would know that first. Maybe Kong makes contact and peace with it, right? In Hollow Earth. And then know that where Godzilla's on a fucking rampage because humanity's done with him, they gotta stop him.
The balance is thrown off.
Biollante sucks the pink out of Godzilla.
Pretty much.
It could happen. You have that vine bite him on the dorsal plate and just suck all that super energy, and he's just drained and falls to the fucking ground and gets cocooned with Biollante's tendrils and vines and shit.
And I would make it.
But why though? What would be that purpose though?
For what?
For Biollante to do that.
So what? Cocoon
Because
Godzilla?
Being pink
Because
is
Godzilla's
stupid.
an alpha titan.
No,
Why would
but
Biollante do that?
because Biollante is the primordial titan, and Biollante has that sixth sense, knows something else is coming.
Setting Biollante up essentially at that point for a villain.
No,
It's not just that. Hear me out.
well, Godzilla would be the villain.
With Godzilla this supercharged, decimating humanity because humanity and Godzilla are at war with each other, throwing the balance off. Titans are being put in check, so the primordial Biollante awakens because all of nature's being destroyed. The balance is off. No one else is stepping up.
Yeah.
She saps that fucking energy from Godzilla because she's like, you are abusing it. You are abusing this much power. And she saps it from him, and it makes him back to King of the Monsters 2014 or GDK form with that amount of power. She's like, this is the rightful power that you should have.
This is the balance.
You abused it. You abused it, and I am here to put you in check. I'm the one whose nature, and you're not doing my bidding. You are destroying.
And
it's that simple.
I wouldn't have gone that far. I would have been like, hey, yo, calm the fuck down. You're out of control. I would have done most of that.
I think ultimately Godzilla would just fucking nuclear pulse inside that cocoon.
I don't think. No. But we're thinking in terms of Toho. We're not thinking outside the box. You gotta expand. You gotta think outside the box.
This isn't the same, and this is where you could sit there. If people sit there and say, "Yeah, you're just retreading on ground," no.
Oh, but even this.
After Godzilla breaks free and Biollante is pissed at Godzilla and they become enemies, then Biollante forms and morphs into Plant Godzilla.
Well, that's exactly what I was going at. Exactly. Godzilla can totally destroy Rose form, just like in the movie, right? And it gives us fan a fucking feeling of satisfaction. And then that's when Biollante comes back and is like, "Oh, word, Because let's not fucking fake the funk. Biollante kind of beat Godzilla in that movie.
Oh yeah.
It did. I mean, the anti-nuclear bacteria was also a factor, but still, Biollante did not get killed by Godzilla in that movie. It got blown up. It got the kiss of death. In all honesty, it did get a kiss of death. It got pulsed, and that's where I would do it. And again, it would just be, if you want to evolve Godzilla even further, I'm not even saying siphon its energy to take it away. I would do it in a sense to, Biolante's here to smack some fucking sense into you, one, and upgrade you. Because what's coming, we ain't got no fucking plan for.
And here's the other thing with that, and this is where
and maybe, hold up, real quick. And maybe the reason why Biollante knows that there's something coming from up there is because King Ghidorah was trapped in the earth, and Biollante had some symbiotic relationship while it was in stasis. Psychic connection.
It's like the grave mine from Halo, and it's like,
yeah,
exactly. And dude, think about it. It all makes sense because you've got the Iwis with telepathy. So if the Iwis are telepathic with Mothra, why can't they be with the primordial one?
And they do, and that's the thing. You could do the Iwis and Biollante have a symbiotic relationship where they're in constant connection with her.
Yeah.
She's Mother Earth.
She's Gaia.
It evolves the Iwis even further. It deepens them. Also, and this is a must if we go this route, Godzilla has to fight and kill Mothra. He has to.
Dude.
Has to.
Dude.
He has to.
He has to.
What the show too is I was gonna say, what would you do for Mothra? But that's the thing. That's the reason why I don't like the Biollante idea you're describing is because I feel like that would be a job Mothra would present.
But that's the thing. Mothra ain't strong enough.
That's the thing.
We know that.
But yet Godzilla listens to Mothra though.
But at this point in time,
Godzilla's had enough of humanity shit.
Yeah.
And ain't keeping the balance.
Because Godzilla wasn't mad at humanity here.
Godzilla just sees. Think about it like this.
I feel like we've already gotten to that point, and then Mothra's like, "Hey, you and Kong need to join forces."
No.
That's
Godzilla
different.
wasn't destroying humanity in this movie. He was siphoning energy.
Is Godzilla seeing red. Godzilla, remember, in the MonsterVerse, he's the balance. Godzilla has forsaken the balance. He has gone full fucking Kratos.
Because they are attacking him.
Shit.
No, Kong was Kratos.
Yeah, no. Kong was whack Kratos. Godzilla's gonna be real Kratos.
Kong being Kratos.
Godzilla's PS2 Kratos.
He couldn't even kill Poseidon.
That's the thing.
My ass.
It's like you're basically telling me that you're trying to make Godzilla evil, and I don't.
No.
He has forsaken his purpose
it's not
to keep
even,
balance.
No, it's
he
not even
wiping out
forsaking
humanity and nature.
It's not even forsaking the purpose. It's humanity has had enough of him. So Godzilla is now retaliating. Like, you're not gonna fuck with me.
But then that leads to the point, what would humanity have done at this point to cause Godzilla to act this way?
No, dude, you're missing the point. You are missing the point legitly. In this movie, right? Godzilla has decimated a shit ton of humanity. Not on purpose. But the fact remains the same. We can't look at it from a monster's point of view because that's what you want. We gotta look at it from humanity's point of view. If you are in charge of a country like Brazil, if you were the president of Brazil, and that shit happened, and thousands upon thousands of people died, we're calling for war, we're calling for Godzilla's head.
And you know what's funny, you bringing that up, that actually was a highlight point in New Empire because what's his name?
So how do you not get what we're saying?
The ambassador or prime minister of Rome was trying to get a hold of Monarch, being like, look, Godzilla's living in our Coliseum. What are we going to do? And they're like, no, just chill. Godzilla's
the thing, though.
Just going to walk away.
But that's the problem. At what point does Godzilla become more of a pest or a menace?
Right. We've had enough.
Because he's just...
But that's what I'm saying is that plot point sounds very sound with the direction they're going of humanity retaliating against the Titans. And
so you do that,
but it's just Godzilla.
Humanity, Godzilla button heads, and humanity's like, fuck, he's destroying all our shit. What do? We have Mothra, and that's where Mothra tries to slap sense into him, and he kills Mothra. Bam. The Iwis have a psychic connection. Second plot point with Biollante, the primordial Titan, where they're like, yo, Godzilla acting this way is fucking with shit that hasn't been fucked with since before time. Before we were a thing. Things are transpiring that shouldn't happen, and then Biollante wakes up. Godzilla and Biollante have their shit, but Biollante also knows there's other shit coming.
Yes.
She needs to get Godzilla in check, knock his shit off. You have Mothra rebirth. She's like, oh, you got one on me finally. Shit.
You Godzilla, and you call it Godzilla Save the Earth.
Yes.
You call it Godzilla Save the Earth.
Where it's all leading up to this. It's perfect because you're already on track with this movie. That's where you go with Godzilla in this, and you can include Kong. That final Godzilla Save the Earth. You have Kong. You have Godzilla, you have Mothra, Rodan, Biollante,
Wait, which version?
Zuko in astronaut outfit and they're sending him to Planet X.
Bro, could you imagine that shit in a fucking, like, a Russian satellite, too? Because now the world has united as one, and they created Starfleet, right? So it's like, all right, we're going out in space. Who are we sending out first? Zuko, obviously. Send the monkey. Send the monkey.
He's a guinea pig.
No,
they're
but
just like, listen, there's a lot of Scar King babies.
That's true. But all joking aside, we literally have this really epic baseline that fits the narrative that Legendary has set up, and also appeases hardcore Godzilla fans, while at the same time giving these younger generation, these kids that this movie is bringing in and turning into Godzilla fans, something to really cheer about. Because here's the thing, they're gonna be like, why is Godzilla bad? Whoa, what is this? Oh shit, Godzilla's good. They saved the world. And it goes round robin, because then you really have to end the entire MonsterVerse with Godzilla saving the world. And I'm not saying Kong gotta go anywhere. Like, Kong's there, he's kicking ass and shit. But it comes down to Godzilla. And if Godzilla has to sacrifice himself in order to save the world, that's fine too. I would take a sacrifice outside of a fucking straight up he got killed. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where
Kong gets the king of the monsters.
You have the end credit sequence, not leading up to anything, that final thing, where you see deep in Biollante's lair an egg hatch, and you see a blue pupil of a baby Godzilla. That's how you do a baby Godzilla. That's how you do it.
And you end the MonsterVerse and everything comes full circle.
That's it.
I'd even have Mutos in this motherfucking movie. On my real shit.
Oh yeah.
And that's how you do it.
Muto.
You do, and honestly, but see, what we're going at, I mean, as great as it sounds, because this is the perfect fucking way to wrap the MonsterVerse up, right?
Oh yeah.
But where we're going, this story sounds like $1 billion budget.
Oh, absolutely.
We're in deep shit, bro.
It sounds like you're gonna get David Spade to voice Godzilla and Patrick Warburton to voice Kong.
No one's talking. No monsters are talking.
Eartha Kitt needs to come back from the dead and voice Biollante. It's Emperor's New Groove.
I like that.
But, and that's
Sultry
that's the
Biollante.
thing. They set this up to go this direction. Go this direction.
They did.
Do it. You get the biggest bad of the Hollow Earth, the primordial Titan. You get to have Godzilla evil.
And it's not even a bad. And it's not even a bad. It's not even a big bad. It's not. It's literally Earth.
You get to have your cake and eat it with it.
Yeah.
You get to have Kong, and in the final Save the Earth movie, you get to have Kong riding Shimu.
No. Let's never do that again.
from The Hobbit.
I don't know. I just like the idea, seriously, of Godzilla sacrifices himself.
I don't want to
The
see it,
Earth,
but
and
I get it.
everyone's like, Godzilla's gone. Like, he gave his life to save humanity after he
And
had
that's the
enough
thing.
of us.
And that's the thing, because you get, in essence, even though he's not, you get the evil version of Godzilla in America. Even though he's not. Again, he's defending himself because humanity has had enough, and it's like, yo, we gotta put this thing down. This thing is cool. Like millions of lives have been lost. You know, we gave him a pass with G-Day. Boston was evacuated. Okay?
Yeah.
We gave him a pass with G-Day. Boston was evacuated. Hong Kong wasn't. That's a different thing. How many people died when he burrowed underground with the fucking blast? Like, come on,
dude.
man.
The radiation released alone would make Hong Kong unlivable.
So there's
Not only that, but when Kong smashes on the freeway and all those cars go up in the air and explosions.
yeah.
People were dying.
And in this
No,
movie,
it works.
and in this
And
movie,
then-
Godzilla was running through bridges like it was fucking Baltimore. It's crazy.
Listen, you end it with deep in Biolante's nest. You have a baby Godzilla hatching, and you have a line from Sarazawa from 2014. I don't know what line, but you could find one.
Let them
Where
fight.
nature has an order, a balance.
Oh.
And that's when he hatches and you see that blue pupil.
Oh my God, that's total full circle to hear Sarazawa say that shit.
Full circle.
Ah! Yo,
Come on,
how do we get in touch? How do we get in touch with Legendary? How do we get in
a
touch with?
six-pack.
I don't even. Yeah, listen. It's all I need. Listen, I don't want much. I just want to be a part of it. Give me a touch. Let me tell you what we think. Come on, you know we're right. We're Godzilla fans, bitch.
We're Godzilla fans that, all in all, well, at least two of us are like, yeah, it was good, but it was stupid.
No.
Let's go that direction.
Chase
Thinks
has
it's
his
stupid?
gripes. Yeah, he has his gripes.
What?
Yeah, but Chase likes the zero gravity scene. with
Oh
Godzilla
man, you
stuff.
can't fault him for that. He has gripes that we have.
I know, I'm
Chase
just
is a
playing.
part of them.
I'm just playing.
Chase is
But
in the
no,
crew.
I'm serious. Like,
You could think that maybe you just aren't the epitome of the planet, and maybe
Listen.
your wants are just too over the top.
how am I too over the top? I remember when we were talking about.
For God's sakes, you conformist.
We were sitting there talking after King of the Monsters where it would go, and I'm like, oh, you do destroy it, you keep it grounded in reality, and then they didn't keep it grounded in reality.
Godzilla hasn't been grounded in reality since 2014, so.
That's not
King
true.
of the
It's been
Monsters, King of the
2019.
Monsters still had it. GVK still had it, but it started to jump the shark. And then this movie didn't jump the shark, it jumped the fucking Pacific Ocean.
The Joker Pacific Rim.
Earth.
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, oh, if we're going there, fine. Let's fucking go there. Here's our ideas. Let's do it. We have 3 to 4
Let's put it
films
this
right
way.
here.
I'd rather them make giant monster movies with stuff like that and be entertaining than make giant monster movies with stuff like that and it's boring as shit.
Like what?
I don't give an example. I'm just speaking hypothetically.
You mean like
that doesn't make sense. I'd rather make giant monster movies
Coloss-
with stuff like that.
Plus?
What I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Oh, Alex! Hey!
2 hours late.
2 hours and 30 minutes late. What's up, brother?
I would. The point I'm trying to make is I'd rather them do something as wild and wacky as a giant monster movie that they've been doing, with adding things like anti-gravity and stuff like that, and running with it and making it entertaining, than having stuff like that and it being boring and not used at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it, but all right. Because I'm not saying it wasn't entertaining. Because again, my first viewing, I have an extreme amount of gripes. My second viewing, the gripes held up, but it is fun and entertaining. It is, and like I said at the review on early Friday morning, I turned to my brother when the movie was finished and said, if we were 6 to 13 or 14 years old, we love this movie. We love this movie. It's a fucking ridiculously fun movie. But Godzilla didn't need to be what he was, but now we've worked around that. Alex, you have missed, I don't know if you've been listening, but you have missed. We just literally mapped out the rest of the Monsterverse. The final Monsterverse movies, we've mapped it out.
No, I sadly missed it because I've been working all day, but I was paying attention to a little bit what Chase said and you guys, and I'm going to say this really quick because I saw the movie 3 times last week.
Woo.
Luckily my friends were able to get me tickets, so I was able to, absorb everything, the second time, and then the third time I just went in as just, let's have fun with it. And honestly, every time I watched it, I had more fun with it. And then I went back on Monday and Tuesday. I went back on 2014, King of the Monsters, and all that stuff. And the thing is, they tried a lot of things in those films, especially 14. Even though it was more realistic and realism, they didn't do much with Godzilla compared to what I'm getting now, which is just what Godzilla was when I used to watch in the 80s and 90s and all that. It's just have fun with it. All those films were just fun. Did it make sense all the time? No, not really. But that's what I loved about Godzilla is I go into just seeing monsters and kaijus that I love just kick the shit out of each other, and go fun, go off the walls with it, as long as it's not too much over the walls. And I got that feeling from this film. I almost got that classic Toho-ness out of this more than the other ones.
Wait. You just said as long as it's not crazy off the walls, but GXK is crazy and off the wall.
I meant too much. There's a balance.
It is too much. It's ridiculous.
Like Godzilla dancing on a different planet.
Okay, I got you. All right, that's too much. Godzilla dancing, Godzilla doing the Megalon slide, Godzilla flying in Ghidorah.
Musicals, hey, don't you know musicals are the trend right now? And Wings are just dead. Next one's a musical, bro.
Oh my God, we didn't even get there yet.
Godzilla's gonna be singing, Kong's gonna be singing, Zuko's gonna have a rap sequence, dude.
We're gonna have Zuko grow, and we're gonna have Lady Gaga on her shoulder.
It's gonna be Godzilla in springtime.
Gia's deaf, but she can beatbox like shit, dude. Like Gia's gonna be a beatboxing queen.
We have Godzilla on ice.
Speaking of Gia, I was having this sense with it. Do you think they're trying to make her kind of like the fairies from Mothra now?
Oh, absolutely.
She's a Cosmo.
Yeah, she's Cosmo.
She's Cosmo. Established now. She is a Cosmo.
Not only she basically controls Kong, but now she controls Mothra. It's like, damn, this girl has a lot of power.
Which is great because you know what? That leads into what we've been talking about. Like, if let's say if Mothra does die, right? Godzilla kills Mothra. Gia's gonna be fucking affronted by that. Like, that is you don't do that. But at the same time, now Kong has to convince Gia not to get revenge. And it goes back to how Gia was telling Kong he's a friend. Now Kong is trying to tell Gia he ain't in control. And that's where you get Biollante into the mix.
But why would Godzilla randomly kill Mothra when clearly even when
you missed we did a 45-minute breakdown of the next group of Monsterverse movies, the last group of Monsterverse movies. And basically what we were saying is the way this movie set Godzilla up is humanity's gonna hate him. And they're gonna go after him because of the death and destruction.
Moment.
Huh?
A Man of Steel moment when the people went against Superman for killing all those people in Metropolis in Man of Steel. Is he thinking like that kind of thing?
Yeah, but he didn't. That was Zod.
Yeah, but that's what the people think.
Yeah, that's what the people think. But
the people don't know that.
But the difference is
it was Monarch.
But the difference is
them trying to get Godzilla to save them, but in their eyes, Godzilla's just trying to
no. But the difference is Godzilla's not gonna fucking come down and say, okay, you can handcuff me, and I'm gonna go in willingly. You know what I'm saying? There's a big, there's a huge difference. It doesn't make
Godzilla's
sense.
not gonna have any remorse for killing innocents.
Right, he's just going through the motions. It's humanity, and that's where the next movie takes place. From humanity's point of view, it's like, yo, Godzilla is a threat. Like, it's not the other monsters. Godzilla has killed more people than the other monsters have. So we gotta kill Godzilla. We got to get rid of him. So this is where we're going, right? They try that. Godzilla's like, what's going on? He retaliates because why the fuck wouldn't he? Right? So he's retaliating. Now, Kong's in the Hollow Earth. He's chilling. He's having a gay old time, and he comes in contact with the primordial titan, as JR so eloquently put it.
JR Ray said gay.
I totally did.
Hey. He said gay.
Totally did. I stole that from the Flintstones. So now,
I know.
Kong gets in touch with the primordial titan, which is Biollante, right? This is how you can mix in Toho lore. It's Biollante. She's Mother Earth. She's Gaia, right? But we call her Biollante. So the fanboys like us could be like, yeah. Now, Mothra goes up to try to stop Godzilla from decimating humanity because they are attacking him. Godzilla's like, yo, they're attacking me. What do you want me to do? Because if I go down into my Hollow Earth, wherever my underground, my underwater lair, they're gonna follow me. They're gonna try to kill me. I'm not gonna have that. And now this Godzilla's a fucking pain in the ass because he's, evolved. Because it's stupid, but hey, we gotta go with it, right? Because here's the deal. 2014, 2019, and 2021, 2021 Godzilla ain't gonna act like this. But 2024 Godzilla, he's acting like this. So we gotta assume, since he's acting like this now, 2026 or 2027 Godzilla's gonna act like this. No, I'm gonna defend myself. Mothra's like, you can't. Godzilla's like, I am. They have a spat. Godzilla smacks the shit out of her. Maybe, hopefully, uses that stupid tail and impales her. Kills Mothra. Bam, over. Oh, shit. Now Kong gotta get involved somehow. But Kong knows he ain't no match for Godzilla. He knows. But he also knows now the primordial titan, which is Biollante. And they have the MonsterVerse has already established this idea of where these titans go, the radiation brings life. She's Mother Earth. She's the life. So now Biollante comes up, and they have that fight, and maybe Godzilla gets round 1, but Biollante sure as fuck gets round 2. But here's the kicker, and this is what you missed, and I'm, again, going over all of this, because we just finished doing it. Biollante, because she's Mother Earth, knows about the original fucking battle between Godzilla and King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah was put in the Earth. She's Mother Earth. There's a telepathic fucking communication. Connection.
Yeah.
Just like the Iwis in the movie. It's all the same thing, right? Telepathically, Biollante sees King Ghidorah and where King Ghidorah's from and what King Ghidorah's thing is. So when Godzilla gets to kill King Ghidorah and King of the Monsters, Biollante got no worry. But she knows there's a bigger threat out there. Not on the Earth, but out in space. And that's why now Biollante needs to fucking stop Godzilla. And not just kill Godzilla, but change him, evolve him, reform him. And humanity might still be like, what the fuck? But that's where Kong comes in. Because Kong, they're going to be like, oh, it's King Kong. It's Kong. He's cool. And Kong's going to do the whole thing.
He's the protector of humans.
Right. And Kong's going to do his thing where he's going to put his hands out like he did for Godzilla. The only difference is the humans ain't going to suplex him. You know what I'm saying? They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. They're going to say, okay, you might have one rogue element that just be's a dick because they're the dick. You know what I'm saying? You need that, right? And that might set something off where Kong could get some action in. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to primordial titan Biollante stopping Godzilla, cocooning Godzilla. Not even cocooning, but but covering Godzilla up to bring new life to Godzilla. Getting him out of that form if they want to evolve him, which all speculation is.
Godzilla starts eating fucking Biolante's vines like spaghetti.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Where now Biolante is shut up. Biolante is, you know what I'm saying, reforming Godzilla.
Yeah.
Literally, in every sense of the word. Getting him out of the pink, bringing him back to the OG style. Whatever Wingard wants to evolve him into next, right? Hopefully something more classic, more traditional. And then at the end of that movie, you have the aliens descending. And if they can make a deal with Toho, you have Gigan, you have another version of King Ghidorah. You might have 2, 3, 4 versions of King Ghidorah. You might have Grand King Ghidorah. You might have Death King Ghidorah. Fuck around, find out you might have Monster X and Kaiser King Ghidorah side by side.
Mecha King Ghidorah.
Mecha King Ghidorah, for the love of Christmas. We did that already,
And
though.
then you add to that, you could have the Titans that are still on Earth. The aliens are killing them out. They're killing them. That's destroying balance. That's the whole point of these movies, the balance. The Titans exist for a reason. The aliens are wiping them out, going into Hollow Earth to extract elements from the Hollow Earth that they need. Or they're terraforming the planet for themselves.
I mean, the power
They all
crystals in all
connect.
Earth. Yeah.
You know, another way to bring back Ghidorah is you get prehistoric Ghidorah or Death, whatever his name is. That that Ghidorah is from the Hollow Earth, a different version of Ghidorah from prehistoric times.
No, because
Nope,
that
we-
Ghidorah would have been ruling the Hollow Earth by the time Kong got down there.
Primordial, Biolante, that's it for the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done with Hollow Earth after that because that's literally.
By the tree, because that's part of.
But I'm just saying, like, it works. And then you have Godzilla sacrifices his life.
No. Look, I said that shit as a fucking joke. We don't kill Godzilla. We don't kill Godzilla.
You really don't want to.
No, I really don't want to. I really don't.
Because Toho says you can't.
I know.
Listen,
I know. Toho says you can, but
He died, but he has to come back to life.
but Jr.
That's
He
my
did the whole
ending.
thing. He did the whole thing.
You know, they're flipping around and
No.
Godzilla Jr. Well, yeah, Godzilla comes back, but it's
No.
not him.
Hear me out. That's the true ending of the movie. Deep within, after the dust is settled, Godzilla sacrificed himself. Deep within Biolante's lair, nestled in her nest, is an egg that hatches, and you hear Dr. Serizawa saying, nature has an order, a balance. I believe he is that balance. The egg hatches, you see a blue eye, baby Godzilla.
And
Nestled by Mother Nature.
James, why the fuck would there be an egg in Biolante's nest? Biolante's a plant. And
Biolante's Mother Nature! Biolante's Mother Nature in this universe.
got an Easter egg like a bunny rabbit, and it's Godzilla.
What are you talking about? It's perfect. It's a perfect ending. No, you're fucking telling me it's terrible and these motherfuckers were flying around in zero gravity?
Biolante laid baby Godzilla eggs.
There is no. Mother Nature creates what is necessary. It's not laying eggs, it's what's necessary. That egg could have existed for eons. It wasn't chosen. It wasn't ready.
But can they not have?
There'll always be a Godzilla. It's the point.
Still like the idea of egg being unearthed somewhere else. I don't like it coming in from like a
Yeah, but let me ask you guys this though. They said that there was a race of basically Godzilla-like creatures a long time ago, right? You don't think that they could find one frozen in Hollow Earth or an egg or something that's that's not just Godzilla being the only survivor?
If you're gonna do, I'm telling you, if you're gonna do a baby Godzilla at all, it's only after Godzilla's died, and that's the only way. You can't have him.
Hang on. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I had to run to the bathroom real quick, but before I did, the last thing I heard was Chase saying, how the fuck would there be an egg in Biolante? Alright, Biolante. I know exactly how that happens. I know exactly how that happens. As Biollante has Godzilla cocooned, it's siphoning energy off of him, right? It's reformatting him or rebuilding him, whatever the case may be, evolving him, right? But at the same time, that DNA is within Mother Earth.
That's what
She's
I was
a
saying.
life bringer.
I like the idea of Biollante moved over and migrated over a part of Hollow Earth where there was a dormant egg, and then the radiation spread to that part, reviving the egg. I like that better than just a random egg being shitted out of a plant.
No, but it's not that, though. It's not that. It's literally, she's Mother Earth. She
Yes,
gives
she's
birth
giving
to life.
And that's what I mean. Godzilla's always meant to be the balance. Whether or not there were other Godzillas that existed, Godzilla is the balance. For Earth, nature, Mother Earth selects Godzilla to be that.
Yeah, look.
When one goes, another exists.
I'm going to tell you something real quick. And I'm not saying that this will win an Academy Award, but that is Academy Award thinking. The fact that Mother Earth brings life and Godzilla is rebirthed through her because she absorbed his energy and she's able to do that, that makes more sense than her just moving over to where there's some weird-ass dormant egg.
They also did already say Mothra's supposed to represent Mother Earth.
Yeah, but that's why Mothra gets
Mothra-
killed in the
I thought Mothra
movie.
represented death and rebirth.
That's what it seems like.
The cycle of life, not
Yeah.
necessarily Mother Earth. The cycle of life.
Mothra's like the Phoenix.
Exactly, Mothra's the Phoenix.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
They say in the art book their description is supposed to be the Mother Earth type archetype for a character.
But the art book and the movies are two different things. One is what they wanted to do, and one is what we got.
Yeah, because if we went based off the art book, Gamera and Gigan would be bowing to Godzilla and King of the Monsters.
Straight up, that's canon.
It's not just that; it's the description of it says when Legendary and us brought together these characters, we wanted these characters to represent certain things, and Mothra was supposed to represent Mother Earth.
Hey, that's fair, but when Legendary started making these movies, it was grounded in reality, and this new one, they were floating into Hollow Earth with zero gravity.
2014.
No, but
I'm just saying, they say a lot of shit and do other shit at the same time.
listen, if you want to like legit, movies are made, especially these big ass franchises. They're made to come full circle. I mean, this is where it gets muddled with Star Wars. Like, the sequel trilogy does not bring anything full circle, even though you see Luke and Leia at the end of the last movie. That's not full circle because your movies sucked. All three of them. Even though I like The Force Awakens. I do. I really do. But those movies suck. But the original trilogy comes full circle. The fucking Lord of the Rings movie, even though it takes 30 fucking years to get there, comes full circle. It comes full circle.
That's what I'm saying. It's elements and themes that have been talked about since 2014.
Yep.
And it ends up coming full circle. They talk about how Godzilla's a force of nature. Who empowered that force?
Biollante,
the primordial titan.
It's genius. It's fucking
It
genius.
works.
The Titan.
What?
So let me ask you guys this: do you rather go back to Hollow Earth and Biollante, or go to space?
No, you could do both. We just did both. We literally just did the map for both.
Both coincide because at this point, and this is the thinking from Wingard's perspective, or maybe we're just smarter than him.
It's like what I said. It's Planet X coming to reclaim Monster Zero and Monster Zero 2, and this time it's Kong and Godzilla. And they took Godzilla and Kong to fight on Planet Ragnarok. And the gladiators are fighting Titans.
Yeah, nobody would buy that.
It's what I'm saying. Like, this is a result of GXK. We have to realize and think, well, what would we do? Because they jumped the shark. This is what... And it works. I wouldn't hate it if they went this route. I really wouldn't. It would logically make sense. Will he? I don't know.
And Brother Chase has left the building. And then there was 3. No, you know, and again, honestly, when we started the podcast, you know, we were talking about all this. We went one way with these movies, but then as it progressed, everything falls in place. I mean, honestly, JR came up with the idea of the Primordial Titan. That's it. That's genius. That's the end game. Because the thought process was, what do you do on Earth that's as threatening? We already did King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla. What do you do? Because Scar King and Shimo was not it. It was not it. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
When JR said Primordial Titan, because we were throwing Biollante around, good God Almighty, that just goes hand in hand. That is 1 + 1 equals gold mine. And you do that, and you utilize it, and then again, you go back. It's all here. The movie, we're not making this part up. The movies have set up Godzilla to be the fucking fall guy. Because of what he's been doing. Kong's gonna go back to Hollow Earth. Ain't nobody gonna go down there to fight Kong. He came up for a reason, to stop the bad guys. But Godzilla was eating fucking reactor juice, right? Like, destroying drones. Granted, they were drones, but still, what are they? Couple $100 million each? And nobody's gonna sit there lightly.
You gotta think,
and then
the
Brazil.
radiation Godzilla puts off just sleeping in the Coliseum. Godzilla's radioactive. He emits radiation. You can't live in Rome.
You're right.
You can't. It's gonna be a ghost town. Not to mention that he's super charged radioactive. So Brazil's wiped off. Brazil is the city from Starship Troopers. Gone. Wiped off the face of the earth after that fight.
Oh, you know what's crazy too?
800,000 dead.
You know what's crazy too? One big thing we're missing. One big, huge point we're missing. The beginning of King of the Monsters. Where is Serizawa?
Yeah.
He's defending Godzilla.
Talking to the government.
Talking to the government. He's defending Godzilla. Serizawa is no more.
There's no one left.
And at this point in time, where the movies are in that timeline, it's almost 20 years later. In that timeline, it's almost 20 years later. It's at least 15 years past Serizawa's death. Who's defending Godzilla? No one. No one.
Well, you can even see it in this movie. They're kind of like, oh, fuck Godzilla's movie. We gotta make something up.
Exactly.
We gotta give him something. It's all there. It's all set up. It's primed and ready. This, legendary. Come on.
Yeah,
a 6-pack of beer is all we need.
Honest to God. Listen, we're not even reviewing your movies no more. Like we're giving you for fucking free. Like, look, all we want, listen, this is all we want. All we want. We want some beer, legit. And if those who don't drink, get them some soda. That's fine. But we also want a cameo, maybe a cameo. Small. I don't even care if I get a fucking building fell on my head. I don't care.
I want a mocap Godzilla.
No. You know what, Legendary? Forget this podcast. Don't let him mocap Godzilla. Because next thing you know, next thing you know, he's gonna pull the tail between his legs and start jerking it off. Don't let him mocap Godzilla.
Just because I did that in the movie theater with that rubber Godzilla multiple times doesn't mean anything, and that's actually fucking true.
See what I'm saying? Don't let him do it. Don't let him do it. But that's all we need. I don't even care if my name comes up in the credits. Some beer, a scene here, and a fucking world premiere. That is it. But listen, we've got the fucking formula. We've got the formula. It's there. It's there. And I swear on everything I fucking love. I'm so mad at us right now, JR. I'm so fucking mad at us. Because we've just concocted the perfect ending for the Monsterverse. And it ain't gonna be that. And I'm not gonna like it.
An idea suddenly. Do you remember when the guy told Bernie what would happen if the film came out and people from above goes to Hollow Earth and starts wrecking the place for, political reasons, money reasons. Imagine if they pollute Hollow Earth and Hedorah appears and destroys Hollow Earth.
Well, we talked about
Hollow
that.
Earth.
We talked about that. We talked about the idea of people trying to go to Hollow Earth to mine the resources, and that's where Biolante awakens. So you see, like, for instance, like that scene in this last movie, you had Scar King up and about walking around, and that the camera caught the foot and then the eye, right? But what if you have these people trying to exploit Hollow Earth now, these mega corporations, and fucking Biolante's vines are growing around them and stopping them in their tracks. Like, one day they got all the equipment down there, we're gonna start. They wake up the next day, everything is vined up. They can't do a thing. How did that happen in a day? That is a beautiful mystery to build upon. It leads right into Biolante. And again, for us fans, we fucking know. We're already like, where are they going? Oh shit, what the fuck? For the kids that are watching this movie for the first time because they seen, GXK, and they didn't even get into the greatest spectrum of Godzilla movies, they just know the MonsterVerse. This is all brand new to them. And they can eat it up. And then they can go back and they can make their own decisions on the older movies, But all we're trying to do is bring the flavor from what we loved to make work in this version, in this vision, in this verse. And I think it's spot on perfect.
And also, if you want to know why not Hedra, it's because we're dealing with Endgame Godzilla, an unstoppable Godzilla, and Hedra ain't it. You if you're going that route, you got to think of Endgame villains, and Biolante has the potential to be an Endgame villain, where if you went Destroya, it's too predictable and too stupid, and it's going to be mishandled.
I feel like Hedorah and Biolante are kind of in the same ballpark in terms of they are both unique creatures that have been used once, right?
Yeah,
and they're both one's the beauty of nature, and the other one's just
the problem with Hedra is, if we go this route, what deals with themes that have been presented, Hedra's an alien.
Yeah.
You could do Hedra as a villain in the final movie as well, with Gigan and King Ghidorah or whatever, but Hedra is an alien, and it feeds on pollution, and it's established in Godzilla vs. Hedra. So, how do you get around that? What creates Hedra within the Hollow Earth? It would have to be established as something in the Hollow Earth is creating life. The primordial Titan Biolante creates Hedra. I'm not saying that's the end-all be-all of all ideas, but it's like,
why?
I don't
why
know.
would that make Hedra?
What actual reason would Hedra exist? When it comes to the Titans, they all have a purpose.
Yep.
Right? They were all created for a reason. That's why Ghidorah existing is established alien. Not of this earth. That's why it's fucking with shit.
Yep.
There's not really a way to get around it. You have to delve deeper. You have to expand the horizon. And that's where I truly, honestly believe you go with Biolante, the primordial elements. She was a primordial Titan that helped create the planet.
Yep.
Existence, who knows how they came to form and exist? Who cares?
They're there.
They were the primordials. Because the primordials is the only place, lore-wise, this series hasn't gone now.
And I agree
We've
with
got
that.
the mother of the Titans, which was Shimu. But what's before the mother of Titans? What were the primordials? What created this planet?
Mother
Going
Earth.
there, we've already established Titans create life with their radiation and stuff. They exist for a reason. Mother Earth, I'm just saying. The primordial Titan that still exists could be Biolante, and her and Godzilla, that, like I said, she creates the Godzillas to keep the balance. One gets corrupted, she's got to put him in check, and that's where you have him sacrifice himself, and I love my ending.
No, and that's where I go too, because I'm like, you don't even have to sacrifice him anymore. I think about that, and I'm like, no, you don't have to kill him. But at the same time,
You don't have to.
But at the same time, I do love the ending because if you work into, well, Biolante did have Godzilla reformatted in her cocoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it works.
Like, and it works. And at the same time, because she did that, she has his DNA.
Yeah.
So she can
There's
birth
a reason.
a new
And
Godzilla.
And that's the thing. She is the reason. She's the reason Godzilla keeps the balance between nature, humanity, the Titans, and everything. Because Godzilla's the ultimate being that she ultimately creates. Mother Nature created everything. We strive from nature. Plants strive from nature. Everything comes from nature. Nature's ultimate, what would you call it? The creature that would hold the balance? Godzilla. It was talked about in 2014. It was definitely talked about in 2019. You know, and we've seen it. Not so much in this movie where he just drank a 6-pack of Bud Light and went on a rampage. But that's what I mean. That's where I think they should go with it. We all know it won't be. They'll probably do Destroya. They'll probably do Space Godzilla.
They'll ruin everything.
They will. Because the idea's there, and it makes sense. Is this where I wanted the Monsterverse to go? No. But if we're going to course correct, now's the time.
Now's the
You
time.
can
They set it up
Yeah.
correct. They set it up to course correct.
Course correct. Does it have to be grounded in reality anymore? No, you jump the gun. Do what you want. But these are the themes and ideas that are presented. And it all stems from, seriously, humanity's had enough of Godzilla's shit.
Yeah, and it makes sense because then again, we as fans get a Godzilla rampage even though it's not... Oh, by the way, we're 3 hours in right now. Hey.
We were gonna...
Well, no, we ain't going 6. 3's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's
we
good.
ain't going 6. We might wrap it up in 15, 20 minutes. But
You know what? You know how you open the movie? You follow a Japanese man or woman in Japan going to work, taking the train, going to work, getting on the train, everything shuts down, alarms go off. She looks out the train window and fucking Godzilla atomic breaths everything, including her.
No,
Just
no,
destroying Japan.
No, you
No,
can't.
hear me
No.
out.
Randomly destroying
Okay.
shit though.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's why. Hear me out. The reason being, a subterranean titan comes out of the ground in Tokyo, and that's when Monarch's like, we've got it under control, and the Japanese government's like, no you don't. And they start fucking lighting both the titans up. They're like, fuck Godzilla. More so Godzilla than the other titan who just leaves in the middle of the fight. Because Japan's military is just fucking Godzilla up. That's where you go, because they're like, you may be here to stop these titans, but enough. Enough is enough.
I wouldn't put it in Japan. I would save Japan for the end game.
Okay.
Yeah,
do it
no.
like...
The fucking
Do it in the
finale.
UK.
The finale has to be in Japan. We have to give the big guy his fucking due. Bring him home. Bring him home. The finale has to be in Japan.
So do it in the UK. That way you can have
That
the Royal
works.
Navy
Yes.
doing their shit.
Yes.
And you have NATO, who straight up tells Monarch, Godzilla just attacked a NATO country. We're going in. And the U.S. military just starts, you see the AC-130s and everything, just bombarding Godzilla, overwhelming him. So he just fucks off. That's where you go with it. Humanity's trying everything they can to push him back, but at a heavy cost. Godzilla's fucked shit up. The monster he was trying to stop left ages ago. And that's where the world governments are like, enough. Monarch, you're not doing shit for us. We're taking command. Shuts it down. And that's when you have your movie. You know what you call it?
Godzilla saved the Earth.
Yeah. No, that's the last one.
That's the last
You
one.
have
That
this
is the last
called-
one. That is the last one.
What would it be called? Godzilla Destroyer? I don't know.
Oh! 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 If you want to bring Destroyer in, Why not just make Godzilla Destroyer? Or the
That's true.
Destroyer. I'm with it. But see, and that's the thing. Again, you gotta tiptoe though, JR. You gotta tiptoe
Yeah.
that balance. Godzilla can't be inherently evil. Godzilla
No.
has to be a creature who is defending itself.
But that's what I mean. Godzilla shows up because there's a subterranean titan coming up in the UK, and he starts like shooting his atomic breath, trying to get it under the ground.
See, but that Godzilla's
But
out of character.
Monarch didn't warn the government in time. The government's just like, Godzilla's fucking destroying our city again. And then the monster pops up, and they're like, who gives a shit? That fucker caused more damage. Kill the Godzilla.
No, but that Godzilla's out of character from everything. And in all honesty, it's out of character. Even this Godzilla.
Is it though? Because he did show up in Florida just destroying shit.
Yeah, but he only killed like 5 people. Like 5 people
That's
died.
true, but he was trying to destroy that base. That's what I mean. A subterranean kaiju. Where he's shooting his atomic breath under the ground. Not needlessly killing humans, but trying to get that fucking kaiju.
So basically, what he did to get to Hollow Earth, where he just
Yes.
drilled his atomic breath.
Yes,
out to
just
September.
more so damage. Where the UK government, NATO's like, enough. Even if he's after another Titan, he's the one doing the damage.
I don't-
What was the other Titan doing?
See,
Sitting underground?
you know what,
He wasn't
though?
doing anything.
You know what though? I don't think you even need any of that. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
Because this movie already gave you all of that.
that's true.
They gave you
could
all
open
the
with
reason in the world to go after Godzilla. This movie starts off with the government like shutting down Monarch, like, yo, this thing is a threat. And then they start showing sequences from this movie and say, we're going after him and you can't stop us. It's enough. We've had enough. We're done.
Okay.
We're going after Godzilla. That's
no,
what
that
that's where we start.
that works too. No, you could have it open like the court hearing spliced with U.S. military and other governments shutting down Monarch's facilities and just fucking arresting people left and right. And then it cuts back to the court case with the U.S. government. It's like, we find that you guys aren't doing anything.
Yep.
You sit here and tell us stuff way too late.
Yep.
Millions upon millions of people have died, and nobody cares. You guys don't care. You have all these Titans supposedly locked up while Godzilla runs free, and we're done. And just intermittent splices between that and Monarch facilities being shut down.
Yep.
And then title card. And then as you see the title card, you know how all the openings have like the letters being blacked out and everything?
Yeah.
You see files being burnt.
Ooh.
All those files being burnt and destroyed. Because it's the end.
Because we're hitting the end. Wait, but here, all right. Here's the thing. This can't be the next movie, right? Like, this can't be the end of the trilogy. There's so much.
No.
That would be a 5-hour movie.
So that's the next movie is the humanity war thing, and that's where you bring in the idea of the Biolante. Biolante would be the next movie. That opens up with ancient Iwi tribe lost ruins, like scribes on wall, where it talks about primordial titans and stuff. And then the third movie's opening would be, I don't know, everything being destroyed. It would just open.
Godzilla film and then a Godzilla v Kong film again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
You do the next one. It will be the finish of this particular trilogy, right? Then I would do a Godzilla film. Then I would do a Kong film, and then I would do the last fucking movie in the MonsterVerse, another Godzilla Kong film, and that's the one. That's the alien invasion, full blown, destroy all monsters type of thing.
That middle movie, so you could have it set up for, in that first one, humanity, Godzilla killed Mothra, and Biolante. That next movie, you could have it where Godzilla's cocooned in Biolante shit and just have it be a Kong movie where they're going deeper into the Hollow Earth and uncovering what's really about to happen. Maybe the aliens fucking showed up when the first fucking Iwi tribes were formed and there's just lost things. Something like that.
The problem with that, I don't think Kong would stand a chance.
Oh, no.
Oh,
His
but
movie
then you
just
get
in
the
the
other
Hall of
Titans with Kong. And then at the
Yeah.
end, Godzilla busts out the cocoon. So we cocoon Godzilla at the end of his movie?
Yeah. And
So
then
what
the
do we
second
do with the
movie is
last-
Kong.
All right.
The second movie is King Kong, taking the mantle.
Taking
right?
the mantle because Godzilla's
Because
gone.
Godzilla's taken out. Biolante's cocooned Godzilla. Biolante ain't doing shit. Kong's becoming King Kong. He's putting Titans in check. Meanwhile, humanity's searching ancient Iwi civilizations, Atlantean civilizations, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Who's this Biolante? What is happening? And that's where they come across aliens showed up in ancient times. Godzilla defended humanity. The Kongs defended humanity. Biolante defended humanity. And that's that movie. And then it all leads up to the third movie where Kong and the Titans are fighting the new Ghidra, the Gigan, the Hedra, and the aliens coming down. And, you know, the Titans and Kong are getting fucked up. And that's when Godzilla bursts out green. He's gotta be green.
Nice.
But he bursts out and he's ready to fucking go. He's reset and it's on the brink. Humanity's like, we need Kong ain't doing it. He's king, but it's not enough. And that's when Godzilla bursts out.
Godzilla X Kong saved the Earth.
Yes.
Final movie. Okay. So then what do we do with this third Wingard movie? This one, the next movie. What do we do here? Because that's the thing. With Godzilla, we can set it up in this movie that humanity is gunning for Godzilla, right?
That's what I would do. That's what I would have this movie, the next Wingard movie be, is humanity fighting Godzilla. Retaliating.
So then if we branch off after this next movie and then we do a solo Godzilla, a solo Kong movie before we get to Godzilla X Kong Save the Earth, what do we do there? So and that's the thing. So we're going to have to cut, then instead of a trilogy, he gets a quadrilogy.
Yeah.
Then I'm not opposed to that.
I'm not.
Because
that's what you... Listen, logically or creative, whatever we want to call this, that's where you go with it.
It's
you
legit, this is where we're at.
went there.
We're here.
So
We're here.
go there. Go there. Do a Save the Earth. Implement the primordials. Does it have to be Biolante? I would hope
No,
so.
it has to be now. No.
Yeah.
The way we described it has to be. Bro, what are we going to do? We're going to do the phosphorus thing? Get the fuck out of here. We need Mothra,
But
right?
that's where you have Kong and Shimu and Suko going on their adventure. You have them doing their thing together. You know, his family. In a 1969 Dodge Charger.
Oh, man. We made 3 hours. We might not make 3:15. Thank you, JR. No, seriously, though. Seriously.
What happens if they come out and they say, final movie's already GBK again, we're not getting a solo film. What about that?
Then it would be squandered.
Yeah, no, look, again, this is all pure
Because
speculation on our part. This is what we want to see. This is what should happen.
Yeah.
Like, everything we've just given out for free makes for great entertainment. Not only for newcomers, young children who are loving this Godzilla X Kong movie, but it also gives us lore for fanboys of us, like of our ages, for those who were there for the Heisei movies. You want to do this alien invasion thing, then we're getting some Showa-esque shit. We're bringing them all together into the legendary universe. Again, it all depends on Toho saying okay, and I don't think that they won't say, yeah, no, here's what we want. It'll make money. It'll make fucking money.
And it rounds it out. It brings back the people like me who are a fan of 2014 and King of the Monsters. It brings them back. It's like, you know what? We went too far. We're still that far, but we're gonna fucking do shit you like.
Right! Exactly.
And that's what I mean. We gotta have good human characters. You gotta have good human stories. You could bring back Mark Russell, and he could be actually with the Kong team trying to figure out what the fuck Biollante is in the Kong movie, going deeper and deeper into the Hollow Earth to figure out where humanity even came from. Something that hasn't been explored yet in these movies. Where did the Iwis originate from? Was the primordial Titan fucking element?
Listen,
bringing so much to this goddamn table.
Movies longer to fit those better human stories.
Say that.
I think
Wait. Say that again. Say that again.
Godzilla
Hold up. Say that again, Alex. You broke up.
Oh, I said basically, because you're lagging.
Yeah.
I said basically to fit better humans and a better story and character development, do you need to make the movie longer? Because it seems like for these last two Godzilla v. Kong films, they're trying to make it within 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes, to just have all the monster bash and just have a little bit of humans. But do you think to have it where you're the balance of a great human plot and the monster bashing that we love, do you think we need to elongate these films now?
No, I don't actually. Honestly, I go back to the fucking Gareth Edwards model, and I don't mean, that much less is more. But we've established these monsters, isn't it? You know what? You're not gonna miss what they look like. You know what they look like. Gareth Edwards made a great movie in terms of hiding Godzilla for as much as he wanted, but he also did it because of budget constraints, right? We don't have to go by that, but we do at the same time. We talked about this at the beginning. If we had an overarching plan, and that's where this whole thing came from. This is where it stemmed from. If there was a fucking plan from beginning to end, what would it look like? Well, in our eyes, this is what it would look like. So how do we make these movies? You got to budget the right way. G14 was a perfectly balanced movie in terms of budget and what it made back, right? Perfectly balanced. When you look at King of the Monsters, they went for it. They literally swung for the fences. Unfortunately, it wasn't a box office success. GVK comes out. COVID. So what do they do? Warner Brothers buys the fucking budget, so it makes its money. Now we're sitting here, GXK, and it needs, what we said, $500 million to kind of break even, or even make, let's say, $150 million profit. Fine.
Because the marketing was very expensive.
Not that much, though, because we were already discussing that, too. Like, that shit in London, they were balloons. So that's a couple of $1,000s, not a couple of million. That's crazy. So it's, they learned their lesson, they can make it. So you look at these movies and you go, all right, we know you can make a compelling human story, but at the end of the day, it really is more about the monsters, and you can still pull that off. Again, you want people who want Godzilla to be a menace? How do we make this version of Godzilla a menace? Well, we fuck with him. Humanity fucks with him because, again, Godzilla X Kong has shown us that Godzilla's just walking through shit. He's not paying attention to his surroundings. He's stepping on the little people. Well, now the little people fighting back. Okay. Then we take everything we said and we just build upon that. Use the Iwis to your advantage. Again, you can do an hour's worth of Iwi scenes in a fucking soundstage. Couple grand. Maybe 15 to 25 grand. Done. The rest you can spend on your fucking monsters. That's crazy.
This is how you do a Destroy All Monsters. I almost want to call the next Godzilla movie Destroy All Monsters. Just for the fact that, hear me out, just for humanity wanting to destroy Godzilla, and the Titans are being set loose, and that's when Biollante comes into play, and then the next movie's Kong, or you call the next one King Kong. That's all you call it. King Kong. And that's when he wrangles it all in because Godzilla's incapacitated while humanity, Hollow Earth exploration. Kong's ringing it all in with Suko and Shimu. And then, you know, that third movie where it's Godzilla X Kong save the Earth. The whole beginning part of the movie is Godzilla's cocooned. Kong and the monsters are trying to defeat these titans, and they're losing, and that's when Godzilla comes out, and he goes straight Final Wars. He's like, I'm gonna fuck all of these fucking aliens and all these alien kaiju up. That's what you do.
Do you think they'll actually ever make him King Kong?
They have
Or do you
to.
think because of the rights issue?
They have to.
No, there's no rights. They have to. You can't copyright King. You know what I'm saying?
No. You can't copyright King Kong. It's in the public domain.
It's in the public domain, and I think they're sitting on it for a reason.
That's
And we've given them the reason
you're-
now.
I think by now, though, do you think with his army and conquering Scar King that he would have gotten the title by now? He is king, basically, now.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You do this next Godzilla movie, then you go back to Kong. Kong's got that fucking Kong army. We're
Yeah.
not jumping the gun here. It's all here. All you're implementing is the primordial titan Biollante.
And Space Kaiju.
That's it.
This is legit.
Two fucking things. Everything else is here. The plot points have already been talked about and established. It's Ghidorah being an alien on Earth is the only fucking thing you need at this point. To sit here and say, well, there's other Ghidorah out there and they're in fucking space.
And you can, again, you can easily fix that by saying Biollante is Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Ghidorah's been in Earth for fucking, you know what, almost a millennia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point in time, Biollante and Ghidorah, they locked minds. Biollante
She
knows.
probed his mind. She saw the planet. You can have a flashback in
You
the
could
movie
have
where
a
the Ewoks
flashback.
talk about it, for Christ's sakes. In the Kong movie, you could have the Ewoks psychically connect with Gia because they're connected with Biollante, so she sees the home world of King Ghidorah. She sees the other titans on other planets that will come here with alien force. You can do it. It's already here. They've already done it.
Ghidorah was the fucking, the scout.
The precursor to
Yep.
the inevitable future.
Yep.
Because remember, time and space ain't the same.
It ain't the
So
same.
for us, it could have been a millennia, but for that other planet, it could have been a week.
Yep. Time and space ain't
It's
the same. It's the Hollow Earth
Easy
theory.
shit.
It's the Hollow Earth
Yeah.
theory. That's
Just
established from the
expanded.
show. Established from the show.
Expanded, and it
Oh
works.
my God!
It
Why are we
works.
getting paid for this?
Because we're fucking fans that are trying to course correct this shit.
Yeah.
Because once Destroyer and a baby Godzilla gets brought up, it's like, no, please, you can do cool shit like we're talking
You can
about.
do cool shit. Like, honest to God, Destroyer or Baby Godzilla does not need to be a thing. I love the idea of a Baby Godzilla only if Godzilla sacrifices himself at the end. Literally, I don't mind seeing Godzilla blow up at the end if he destroys the Grand King Ghidorah. You know what I'm saying? Like, legit.
And it's not the fact, like Chase was saying, that Biollante lays the egg. That's not the point.
That's not
Mother
what we
Nature
were saying.
creates what is necessary.
Right.
And Godzilla will always be necessary, and that's the
And that's the
whole
thing.
point.
You could bring back Ghidorah. I mean, how in the comics now, with Godzilla vs. the Justice League, they're reviving Ghidorah's the missing head or whatever, you know, with the Lazarus Pit. It's like you could do all these crazy ideas in the Godzilla lore if you could figure out a way to bring them back.
Yeah, the
So
space. It's a
Bring in a
species.
different Ghidorah, Death Ghidorah, Grand King Ghidorah,
Not
Kaiser
necessarily.
Ghidorah.
Bring a different version of Ghidorah, whether it's
Yeah.
Ghidorah, Grand Ghidorah, Kaiser Ghidorah. It's in the same family, but you know, has 4 legs. It's different, and it's not just a Ghidorah.
You don't have
And
to
we
do
so
all
full
that,
of-
though.
And the human story too is you bring back fucking G-Team. That's the first thing I would fucking do. G-Team. They used to work for Monarch. The government didn't want them. They're fucking a
Mercenaries.
militia.
They're mercs.
They're mercenaries that work for a coalition of the remaining Monarch people, the heads, the computer guys, the guys that stuck around. Plus, you get Mark from King of the Monsters. Bring him in. He's like, I'm done with their shit. What can I do to help? I've got secret ties to funding.
I wouldn't even go that far. I wouldn't even bring him back because I'll be honest with you, he's not memorable. I bring back Millie Bobby Brown because she would make the money, not him.
Millie Bobby Brown took up the mantle, and she's got the ties to the money.
Exactly.
Right there.
Exactly. Because here's the deal:
Hey.
in Godzilla X Kong, homeboy from Deadpool 2 is in Godzilla X Kong. I don't know if y'all peeped it.
Yeah.
You seen what I'm saying? You know he's in it, right?
Yeah.
What's the fucking kid's name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The stupid kid who was like, first of all, it was Madison's idea. Josh.
You know he's in GXK, right?
No, he is?
Yeah, dude. He plays an important part in that movie. You didn't see it?
Not existing?
No. He transitioned. He was the leader of Monarch. You didn't peep it?
Oh my, ew.
I'm just saying, that's fucked up of me to say. I actually like the idea.
That was a good joke.
They used
it.
it.
A second, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
that's him. Huh?
no, I like the fact that they used a New Zealander to play the head of Monarch. Because it played off of his fear of all of that shit. And he was New Zealander. And so she being, a New Zealander, being the head of Monarch, I like that play. But when I saw it, I was like, ha ha ha, there he is.
And you bring back this cast. You bring back the Australian dude, whatever that guy was, the dentist dude. You bring back Bernie. You bring back the Kong Whisperer chick.
You have to bring her back. Yeah, you always have to bring her back.
You bring them back, and that's the thing. What's been a thing with all these movies is the lore, the world building. That next Kong movie has to be that.
Yeah, Gia has to be the focal point too, as far as human characters go.
Oh, absolutely. You can have Gia transcend just being the Mothra priestess to the Mother Earth, the speaker of Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Where Biollante speaks through her to humanity, to the Iwis, to humanity. Shit like that. You elevate, you build upon. I swear to God, I need to write books.
In all honesty, I think
like
we need to...
Miki
Sagusa kind of character now. It's almost like a cross between.
It transcends that too. And you can have the lore where the ancient Iwis that were long forgotten, they were Atlanteans. Call them Atlanteans.
Oh God, you have no idea.
The ancient Atlanteans had a high priestess that was able to speak to Mother Earth, and Mother Earth was able to speak through her. You tie that with Gia.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. A completely lost ideology, a lost culture and civilization, resurfacing once again in a time of crisis. What's the crisis? The aliens are what destroyed Atlantia. And the Iwis are the remaining people of that. They forgot their heritage and civilization and tried to rebuild, but got stuck in the Hollow Earth in their ways. The ones that made it to Skull Island continued what they had done. A completely lost heritage. You build upon that. You go into that civilization. It's all there. It was there in King of the Monsters.
I don't know if I would be... I like the idea of the Iwis being Skull Islanders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like the idea of them being Atlanteans, but I do like the idea of Atlantis and a connection to the kaiju. I love that. You know what I mean? I just don't want them to be Iwis. You know what I mean?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, but I love different sects.
The Atlanteans developed technology, and they were going into the Hollow Earth, and that's when the aliens came down. And then the Iwi were evacuating Earth into the Hollow Earth, and what was left on Skull Island were the ones that were staying. You could do that, but I don't know. You mess with it, you iron it out.
Yeah.
You figure it out. That's the beauty of it. You can figure it out.
And at the same time, I would say the only alien invasion we had up until that point was King Ghidorah as a scout.
Yeah.
As a scout.
But we could do it as King Ghidorah was just so powerful. I mean, it's there in King of the Monsters. Again, he was swallowing titans and man alike.
Right.
He was destroying fucking everything. It's in King of the Monsters. You could have it in there as that, and then the Biollante psychic connection, and it could be messing with Gia too. You do stuff with it. You run with it. Listen, I'm not saying it's the Lord of the Rings of the Godzilla series, but...
Don't you dare say that. But it makes sense. But it makes sense. We have literally lived up to the hype of this live stream's fucking name. Adam Wingard is not monkeying around with the next MonsterVerse movie. No, he's not, because we just gave him the motherfucking blueprint, the roadmap to the next and final Godzilla and Kong movies, the next MonsterVerse movies. This is it. And honestly, and I get money talks, but you strike while the iron is hot, and then you stop ironing once the clothes are done. I think we've got a fucking tie on the bow. I think we've done it. And in all honesty, this is where Toho knows. Toho fucking knows. They stop one. They wait 10 years. They start another. Right? The MonsterVerse would be fucking smart to just stop here and then going back and start making movies like, what was that movie with Leonardo Matt Damon, the China one with the fucking lizards that looked like Doug. Make that movie again, The Great Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to making movies like that. You know what? Start making Dracula movies. Start making vampire movies. We're done. You got the MonsterVerse.
27 more Dune movies to make, so.
That's the thing, it's like, I want them to end it like they did with the Heisei. Make 6-7 films, end on a high note. Which
I'm telling you.
I want them to do that. They don't have to make 10 to 20 films like Avengers and on the Marvel and DC. You don't have to.
So, I mean, you make 3 more fucking movies, follow this roadmap, people will be on board, you'll get asses in seats, you end it on a high note, and you leave it there.
Yeah, but you say 3 and I say how. The next one's got to be a Godzilla Kong movie.
Also, by the way.
What was that?
Huh? Aren't they making another season 2 Monarch, I heard?
I don't know if that's been officially proved yet.
Everything's up in the air right now. Like, even Wingard's like, he's using a lot of key phrases. I would like to. This is what I want. Not I'm doing it.
You're right.
Because it's up in the air right now.
That's what Edwards did. That's what Gareth Edwards did after 2014. I would love to, do Destroy All Monsters. For the love of God, get Gareth Edwards back to make the last Godzilla movie.
Hey, Gareth.
Gareth.
I got a trilogy for you.
No, hey, Gareth. No, not even just that last one. Godzilla Saves the Earth. Or Godzilla X Kong Saves the Earth.
Yeah.
Gareth, that's your movie. You started this. You fucking bookend this bitch. You end it. Because I'm going to tell you something. I think he has what it takes to make that fucking sacrifice mean something. We will get the same tears we got. Well, I would get the same tears I got watching 95, watching Destroyer. Because again, I grew up with Godzilla. Then my teenage years, I found Godzilla again. And I was like, what the fuck? So when I got the Destroyer, I was just like, I was devastated. I was like, oh my God. Whereas Gam can say it sucks, I get it, because you probably saw that one first, you fucking douchebag. Gams, I love you, you're not a douchebag. I can't say that. He's not here to defend himself. But you know what I'm saying? He probably saw it early.
One of my favorite Godzilla films.
Yeah, I can't believe he said Godzilla vs. Destroyer was shit. I was like,
I think so.
I'm driving to Montana tomorrow.
All time, but
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna fly out there and we're gonna watch WrestleMania with him.
Bro, I'm gonna walk through the door and be like, it's Taz!
Give him the oxygen and destroy and see how he feels.
Exactly. Throw him in that fucking toxic water that you went and visited.
There's bad takes, and then there's Godzilla vs. Destroyer is not a good movie. I'm like, yo, that might take the cake for the worst bad take.
Great. Junior is the best version of Godzilla's son to this day.
It is.
The Burning Godzilla is one of the best looking Godzillas out there. No one can say otherwise. It's the story. The humans actually meant something in the like everything mattered, and they connected to the original 54. It's just the whole thing was beautiful.
It was beautiful, and again, it makes so much sense, and that's what we want to do for the MonsterVerse. We want it to make sense again, and I think what we've put together here in the last 2 hours, literally, I think we've been speaking about this for 2 hours. I think what we put together is a solid pathway where everybody would be able to enjoy it, of all ages. We're giving the kids something because we're not taking nothing away from what GXK set up, right? We're adding to the lore with the Iwis, so we're giving legendary fans more lore. We're adding, Toho Kaiju, and we're making them relevant again. Biollante is not a fucking experiment between a Godzilla Cell and a planet. It's Mother Earth. It's a primordial titan. The fact that we're adding primordial titans to the cause, I mean, that's... Why haven't we done that before? It's genius. And we can say that with certainty. And all we gotta do is point to Kong walking over whatever the fucking thing that was, that skeleton.
You could sit there and say that was the remains of Crystalak from Godzilla Unleashed.
Absolutely.
Because there's crystals all over the Hollow Earth.
You could. And you could just say it's a primordial titan.
It's a primordial titan Crystalak. The primordial titan obelisk, whatever. I mean, 2 from fucking Unleashed that were approved by Toho. They're Toho licensed kaiju. They were the primordials. They're elements.
Yeah, it makes sense. I love it. It works in every fucking sense. And then again, Godzilla never dies, but when he does, it's a sacrifice. It's not a meltdown. It's a sacrifice. It's Godzilla saving the Earth.
It's not even a death as much as a rebirth of Godzilla.
Exactly, because of the way we would go with the end there.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And everybody's crying. And then at the very fucking end, when you hear Serizawa talking like fucking Bruce Campbell at the end of Evil Dead 2013, and you say to yourself, what are we doing here? And then, like you say, you see Biollante and the fucking the voiceover is happening.
And the egg hatches and you see that blue pupil, and then it goes
yeah. Give him the grip! Give him the grip! Yeah! Chill, man. We can't do that no more, man. Puffy got canceled.
I don't give a shit. That's still a good song.
Tell me about it, bro. It's still my wrestling theme song, bro. I come out to that shit. I hear that song. I jump out my car like I'm backyard wrestling again. I'm like, come on, come at me. Man, but holy shit. Listen, I gotta be honest. I think I'm gonna call it here. We kind of nailed it. We can't go any further. We can't go any further. We fucking nailed it. Honestly, we have laid down the map for the rest of the MonsterVerse. And I know, again, money talks, but at the same time, there's gotta be a fucking end to everything. And I think what we just put down, this roadmap, is a perfect way to end the MonsterVerse. I really do think so. And so that being said, I do want to thank everybody for joining me. Alex, thank you for jumping in when you did.
Of course.
I wish it was here from the beginning. Sorry to even get a lot of words in. I apologize. But we were on a roll, bro. And JR, Jesus Christmas, man. What are we doing tomorrow, JR?
Listen, the door's gonna open. A black void. You see a figure, an orange face. It's Taz!
It's Taz!
I am the table! We've got WrestleMania 2 nights, podcast, JR's GAM. Link is in the live chat to the channel. I have no idea when the fucking shit starts. I'm gonna have to look up times. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have beer, Wingstop, beer, and most importantly, beer.
Yes!
Beer.
Yes.
Beer. It's gonna be a blast. Not officially sponsored by beer. Just like the word beer.
Hey, JR, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you gonna, have this thing open, this type of podcast where anybody can join in at any time, and then you can kick them out if they start acting stupid?
I actually can't because I'm going to be doing it on Discord.
Ah, you know what? I ain't mad at you there. I can't personally. I cannot wait to be a part of this. But who the fuck am I kidding? I put you back onto wrestling, so here we go.
It's going to be a blast, dude. So, as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have 2, maybe 3 screens running of this. I'm going to have my main monitor running. I'm going to have this TV, and then I have the wifey brought her computer. So we're going to watch every angle from this 3 ways.
Yo, I may want to join, honestly.
Hey, man, you want to join? You let me know, because I'm all about it. It's going to be a fun night, as long as you have Peacock, because I don't stream this to anybody else.
Yeah, because we can't stream it to anybody else. I was listening to the last
When are you
podcast.
doing it?
We're doing it tomorrow
I don't know.
whenever it starts.
2:30, 3 o'clock. It's WrestleMania.
Dude, yeah, we got 2 nights of this, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be off the chain. I'm telling everybody right now, we're finishing the fucking story.
Remember, that's Sunday night. That's Sunday night.
Alright,
But
I'll
tomorrow
try-
night.
Yeah.
I'll message you when I'm done with everything, and we'll go from there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
if you're down, man, as long as you got Peacock to watch it, we're good. Everything should be flowing. It's gonna be a blast.
I gotta be honest. I think the fucking first match might be the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
Oh, I hope so.
I think that's the first match tomorrow, right? Because
Yeah.
the main event on Sunday is going to be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. So, and remember, whatever happens, if the Bloodline wins, then it's Bloodline rules Sunday night main event, which is
Yeah.
crazy, which means they can interfere, they can do whatever the fuck they want. But if Cody and Rollins wins, then it's just Cody and Roman Reigns. One-on-one, no interference. Oh my
No,
God,
I'm telling you
cannot
what's
wait.
going to happen. They say the no interference, but the Bloodline, I'm telling you, the Bloodline's going to win that first match. And
think
then that main event, The Rock and the Bloodline's going to come in, and it's going to be Seth Rollins, it's going to be Bret Wyatt, it's going to be Drew McIntyre.
Did you
Not
just
Bret
say
Wyatt, he's dead.
No.
I'm mixing him up with the other bearded guy with the oval head.
Sami Zayn?
Sami Zayn's gonna come in. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna. I'm just speculating, but
Or
yo,
Kevin Owens too. Kevin Owens
as well, and they're gonna be fighting outside the ring while Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes in the arena duking it out for the Universal Championship. Cody Rhodes finishing the fucking story. It's gonna be live with commentary. It's gonna be off the fucking chain. This WrestleMania. If it's a disappointment like last year, listen, I'm blaming Vince McMahon.
He's not even there anymore. Oh, I can't wait for
know.
tomorrow. I can't.
Wait,
You know,
anyway.
this is a fucking preview for tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party live stream. Two weeks in a row. I love it. All right. And just like JF said, finishing the story, I think we collectively in these 3 hours finished the story. So Adam Wingard, legendary. If for whatever reason this gets by your ears, remember what we want. A couple of cases of beer, okay? A cameo, and a part in a movie. You don't even gotta pay me. Again, drop a building on my head. I don't give a fuck. I was in the Godzilla movie. Payment enough. I can die happy. That's it. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here.